Live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NBA trade deadline just 24 hours away. If 76ers point guard Ben Simmons does not get his trade request granted by then, center Joel Embiid says he'll be welcome back to the team, but Embiid made it very clear it'll be up to Simmons to show he wants to be part of the Sixers. Do not be surprised if Simmons stays put, says ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
I do think there's a willingness in Philly to not just give Ben Simmons away, just do a deal to do a deal here at the deadline, when they believe that there are more very prominent players they possibly could get at for him in the offseason, starting with Harden.
Wojon Greeny, Harden as in Nets guard James Harden, who continues to be a topic of strange speculation ahead of the deadline. The NFL announced it'll retain an investigator, saying the league and not the Washington Commanders will conduct the investigation into sexual harassment allegations made by a former team employee against owner Dan Snyder. Snyder has denied the allegations. The team announced earlier today it's hired an independent team to look into the claims.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Hey everybody, welcome in UNF Arena here in Jacksonville, Florida. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I'm getting the lights ready, so if you see nobody right now in the Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube world, that is why. And so I'll be there in a minute. And so will Austin Lane. He's trying to find his way up here at UNF Arena. I have to talk in my golf voice because right now Coach Matthew Driscoll is addressing his team. And at center court, as they get ready for Bellarmine in town, the Ospreys have won a couple in a row on the road, so they come back and look for win number 3. And Bellarmine's a very good team, so we'll see if the Ospreys can do that. Coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, I'll have the call on ESPN Plus. Meanwhile, a lot going on in Jags land right now. Doug Pederson really getting after the staff for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's coming together. I feel like the fans, or at least Twitter, kind of likes it. And there's some names on there that you know. There's some other names like, who is that guy? You really got to know the underbelly of everything in the NFL to notice that part. But let's get Austin's thoughts first. We're in our golf voice, Austin, for 2 reasons. One, the Butcher has picked the winners in the golf picks a couple weeks in a row. Okay. And we got golf picks coming up tonight.
Oh, well, then I'll start screaming.
But also Matthew Driscoll is obviously addressing his team at center court. If they just got done with the shoot-around, Matthew Driscoll will join us at 3:30. He will not be this quiet when he joins us. Mm-hmm. He'll come with a little bit more energy. Hey, what do you make about all this, how quick the staff's coming together? It seems like every 10 minutes there's another coach named, an assistant coach named, and it's starting to take shape here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking good. You know, obviously this is a group of guys that knows Doug Pederson pretty well, at least for the most part. You know, I know Gerald Alexander is a guy that's been thrown on a little bit in terms of some sort of capacity.
I love that.
On the defense, I love it too. I know, a former teammate of mine, great personality. I think he'd be great. I mean, he was great in Cal when he coached there. He was great in Miami when he was I think the secondaries coach there for the Dolphins. So, and obviously being a former Jaguars player, I think that means a little more too. So that would be a great look. Jim Bob Cooter's a guy being thrown on right now as the passing game coordinator for Doug Pederson. So, I mean, in the long scheme of things here, it's a couple of guys that I recognize, obviously, and a couple of guys that, you know, a lot of fans should recognize, and a couple of guys are getting kind of a new shot depending, you know, if these names are going to be finalized. But I do like the combination. We talked about it yesterday a little bit. You got to combine youth with experience in order to kind of cultivate the best culture that you want, and I think that's kind of what Doug Pederson's doing right now.
What do you make of, like, it looked like Mike Caldwell was in place to be the Jaguars' defensive coordinator. What do you make of it now that Gerald Alexander might get a shot at that gig? He most recently, by the way, was in Miami. So, and who knows? Sometimes you bring people in to, you know, interview for one job and they they might actually land in a different job. But
well,
you got to be a little careful with that, right?
No, for sure. And you can also like a DC assistant in terms of is he, the passing game, defensive coordinator. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it.
There's so many jobs now.
For sure. So until things are actually finalized, it's really hard to speculate on everything.
All right. I turned the lights on here.
Cool.
You all right? You going to be able to handle that? Not going to lie, I'm sweating.
It's not ideal, but we'll make it work.
I can move
Good
it
to see
back.
you
I'll
guys.
adjust it. Can you see us
Good
all
to
right?
see you too, Casey.
How'd I do? All right?
Yeah, good. Now, before I was wondering if it was you guys, but now I've locked in that it is indeed you guys.
Yeah. I knew I was going to. It just depends. If we're out there, we don't need the lights. If we're in here, we need the lights. Thanks, Coach. I'm sweating here. I got to put makeup on. Coach Matthew Driscoll stopping by to say hello. Now we can yell a little bit. I think these guys are done. He's done talking to him. He said, talk as loud as you want. Yeah. You going to turn us down a little bit?
Yeah, I did. You peaked. You peaked right away.
We peaked.
Nice.
We got the go-ahead from Matthew Driscoll to say whatever we want, how loud we want to say it. So
I like it.
That's cool. Listen, let's talk about the guy that got me most excited, Gerald Alexander. Really good dude. He did play here as a safety in Jacksonville, and I thought you played with him. I get everything mixed up now. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But I thought you had a guy out of Boise State. Remember, in his playing days, and he's been around, bounced around. He's really working his way up the ladder. I've been paying attention to him, what he does. I think he was at Cal, and then he was at Miami. And so you can see the ladder climb for Gerald Alexander. He is one of the all-time. If you see me on Twitter, anytime I talk to Gerald Alexander or say something about Gerald, I say coffee me, because he came up with this phrase somewhere along the way of coffee me. Like he was getting up early in the morning. I don't know if he did that back when he was a teammate, but I still think he should trademark the thing. If he doesn't soon, I'm going to steal it.
So the famous thing that I'm reminded of Gerald Alexander and Maurice Jones-Drew on Twitter would have been when they used to do To Catch a Predator. They used to do like the watch party, and they used to host that with like a bunch of Jaguars fans. So they used to like live tweet watching To Catch a Predator, and that was always great comedy, just because it was kind of like literally like a roast session for an hour a pop. I think it was on NBC or whatever that channel was. But when we talk about Gerald Alexander, I mean, the first time I met him, you got that this was a player that was cerebral. I mean, definitely understood the game of football, had a great mind for it, but even more than being cerebral was just the personality that he brought to the team. I always talk about Kasim Osgood kind of kept things lighthearted a little bit on that offense. I think Gerald Alexander was the exact same kind of guy on defense. He was the guy that was always having fun at camp. If we're in a meeting and it was a little too serious, he'd maybe crack a joke. He was a dude that, I mean, when I used to always say, getting thrown out the club, or, when if you get pancaked, you got thrown out the club, that came from Gerald Alexander. He always made a habit where if someone got put on their back, he would say they're getting thrown out of the club. So Gerald was a great guy in terms of getting the team to be a little loose, but also a great football player in his own right. And I think he kind of brought that mentality with him to the college game, obviously, and relating to college athletes. And now he still kind of has a little bit of that at the pro level as well.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll see what happens with Gerald Alexander from a defensive coordinator. Is that too early of a rise? Mike Caldwell's been around the game a little bit longer. I think we could all agree on that, right? So I think Caldwell's 50 years old. Gerald's got to be a little bit, his late 30s, mid-30s, late 30s? How old are you?
I'm 34, so he's probably a little up
just a couple
late
years
30s.
older maybe?
Yeah, late 30s.
And so maybe this is too soon, or maybe it's not. We'll see. But I would love Gerald Alexander part of the staff. Just, by the way, I have said this countless times, and I understand, this is not the most important thing to winning a Lombardi trophy. But I do think this organization, I've said it, again, a lot lately, it's something that hit me, that good people in the organization isn't a bad thing, especially if you lose and when you lose and when it hits the fan. And I think, and again, I'm not trying to insinuate that everybody's like the worst person in the world in Jagsland, like that's been in the building. That's not what I'm after. But I do think the perception of what we just transpired with Trent Baalke over the last couple of months, right, and the digging into that story, and Urban Meyer over the last year, and just some of these, the perception is it's not good in the Jags organization because guys like Jan and Ramsey want to leave. And again, it doesn't make every person a bad person. I don't want to. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I do think the more good people you find, the better culture you might be able to build, right? And then you add to that some good coaching and some good players, and now you've got something that can really blossom here in Jacksonville. And that hasn't happened over a long time from sustained success. I know this, Gerald Alexander, the guy I think you know, he's a good dude. And Doug Pederson is known as a good dude. And so you start bringing more good dudes in, it's a place people want to be. It's a place people want to celebrate. It's a place that you want to cheer for guys like that. That is not a bad thing in Jacksonville right now. And I guess that's probably why it's a name I know in Gerald Alexander. I covered him a little bit, but also I know that part about him, and so I like that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think from a coaching staff perspective, you definitely want solid guys. Guys are dependable. I think from a player perspective, it's a little different just because, NFL rosters are made up of all types of guys. Some are salt of the earth, upstanding citizens, and some might be a little rough around the edges. But, as long as you have the same goal in mind, helping your team win, you can make do with those rough around the edges guys as well. Now, I think coaches, it's a little different. But once again, I think it comes back to, especially if you're Doug Pederson right now, I think the synopsis so far of what these guys all have in common is, he's had some sort of interaction. I'm not sure if we're getting a lot of guys. Maybe Gerald will be the first guy that, hasn't had a history with Doug Pederson before.
Good point.
And then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does know Doug Pederson in some capacity, but I don't think he will.
I even wondered a little bit to myself today. I was like, what's the deeper relationship, or how do they know each other and cross paths from obviously playing in the league, but also Gerald was down the last couple of years in Miami, and so Pederson the last year was in Miami area, and I wonder if they crossed paths a little bit, and he went to some camps or practices, or he might have done some of those things just to stay in the game that we didn't even know he was doing, and so that could have hit off something. So who knows? We'll have to ask about it when that if that even happens, like if he gets hired in some capacity. So Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, and Jim Bob Cooter in Jacksonville. How about that? Ian Rappaport saying that's going to be the offensive coordinator. That's like the report out there right now. Do you like the idea of Jim Bob Cooter? Did you run into him while you were in Detroit at all? Or was he after
I think he was after me. I kind of prefaced last week saying, since we know that Doug Pederson's going to be more than likely calling the show here, I think Jim Bob Cooter is a great guy to have as an offensive coordinator. The name. He's had some success. You think of when you think of a Jim Bob Cooter type of offense, you think of a very dynamic offense in terms of formations, in terms of pre-reads and shifts and all that stuff. So I do like that. But at the same time, this is still Doug Pederson's offense. This is still going to be Doug Pederson's philosophy. So, I'm definitely more concerned about the defensive coordinator than about the offensive coordinator, just because I have a good idea, I think, what Doug Pederson's going to try to do, and it's going to be his kind of baby going forward.
And by the way, Jim Bob Cooter, I think from what Ian Rappaport's saying, it would be in a passing game coordinator role. So apologies. I think I might have just said offensive coordinator. He was an OC. And so in that kind of role, and so he's obviously adding some layers to the staff, and Jim Bob Cooter, I think, by Peyton Manning, Matthew Stafford, maybe now Trevor Lawrence, he knows how to be around big time guys. So that's not bad. But I'm pretty sure, wasn't Jim Bob Cooter at one point considered in the running for the Jags head coaching job a few years ago? I want to say he was coming off maybe the Jim Caldwell Lions time, that he could have been that kind of candidate. And now I haven't really heard about Jim Bob Cooter over the last couple of years, quite frankly.
Yeah. He might have been. I don't necessarily what year that would have been back in what 17? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, maybe he was. Did he get interviewed? Do you know?
I don't know if he was just thrown around. Or maybe I really can't remember this one. I don't know if he was just thrown around as a candidate, or if it was more OC related. But I know he's flirted with the Jags job before in some capacity. I want to say it was the head coach. I think he might have come off those Caldwell years in Detroit. I'm trying to think of why he would have been, and his work with Stafford and others that might have propelled him at least into a conversation.
Sure.
Not a hefty one, but at least the conversation of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. We talk about Jim Bob Cooter. It's a guy that primarily has been, a quarterback's coach, but also a running back's coach. So I think he's kind of versed in terms of, who he can coach up here on the offense. But once again, it's going to be in a role of, I think, more of just like a consultant / assistant, as opposed to, calling the shots in terms of what kind of offense they're going to be running.
All right. Casey, do me a favor. And what do you have as an updated list? There's a lot going on in Jagsland right now. There's a lot going on in Brentland today, too. So I was seeing it, but not digesting it all at times. And some of the names, quite frankly, I'm not that familiar with. I don't deep dive into defensive line assistant coach.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's let this settle and we'll learn more about it. But Casey, what do you have? Like, what's some of the reports between Aaron Wilson and Ian Rappaport, and I think Tom Pelissero had some reports. I mean, these are reports that I think are pretty solid and going around. Now, I will warn everybody. Mike Caldwell was a guy that got a lot of smoke yesterday about defensive coordinator, and we're not quite sure that's exactly happening. And the Jags, again, I'll remind everybody, Jags are not going to make this stuff official until probably sometime over the weekend at the earliest, and I doubt it because of the Super Bowl going on, more like early next week, even though it looks like his staff, Pederson's staff, could be done, at this pace in the next 24, 36 hours. Go ahead, Casey. What you got for the latest?
All right, so we got Pelissero reporting Heath Farwell will be the special teams coordinator. Apparently played in the league a bit and has been with the Bills doing that job.
He was special teams coordinator with the Bills is what I read, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's interesting.
And you're really starting to see a pattern, too, I believe, of these Doug Pederson signings with they're all former players.
That's a great call.
Yep.
That's a really good call.
Yep.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
We got Brenson Buckner coming from the Cardinals, Raiders, Bucks, and Steelers as the defensive line coach.
Let's comment on that one because I think that one's really interesting. Buckner, by the way, a very good player in the league for a long time. He's got ties to the Cardinals, and now people are starting to put you see this that's going around social media about Chandler Jones, which is interesting. Chandler Jones, who's been a monster in the league, could a guy like Buckner pull Chandler Jones in as a free agent? Is it worth it at his age? We could explore that a little bit more. But I just think it's funny what happens when you get a guy like Buckner, who's been in Arizona, Chandler Jones ties, and then some folks even threw out there, which I wasn't that familiar with. I vaguely remember people saying this in the past, like when he was leaving the Patriots, that he grew up like a Jags fan or like the Jags because of the colors and stuff.
I like it.
So, I mean, heck, that just at least it's fun to talk about, right? I mean, if you get a guy like Buckner and you're stealing from that Arizona organization, I don't mind that, man. We've done well in the past, right?
Yeah.
Calais Campbell, we stole.
No,
from.
Listen, I mean, if you have an opportunity to get Chandler Jones, I mean, you have the money for it, and bringing over a position coach that he's used to working with is only going to sweeten the deal because we've seen this happen before. When Joe Cullen came from Baltimore, he brought Matthew Judon. Matthew Judon? No, I'm sorry, Jihad Ward.
Jihad Ward. Yeah.
Word on the street was he wanted to bring Matthew Judon, but unfortunately somebody may have blocked that and said that's probably not the best idea. But that's kind of what I heard. It was Joe Cullen was a big Matthew Judon proponent, and unfortunately he goes to New England, and the rest is history there.
And on top of that, they probably didn't throw him enough money. They misjudged that.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't do that. But, yeah, he would have been a great guy to have. But I think that is kind of – I don't want to say it's common in the NFL, but you do see that more and more where guys will follow position coaches or coordinators, whatever the case may be, if the situation presents itself.
All right, what do you got, Casey?
We got Andrew Breener, who's supposed to be an offensive assistant, and apparently is the only non-former player that has been reported so far. Field Yates reported that. And then offensive line coach Phil Rauscher.
Yeah, so I saw some people raving about Rauscher. Listen, I don't know what makes a good offensive line coach. When George Warhop was here 2 years ago when Marone was let go, I was like, what I heard from some folks that knew like the position, it's like there's no way Warhop's going to be around this coming into the next year. Like a lot of people blamed him. Some people even internally that I had talked to blamed him. And then he had Marone, of course, who was an offensive line guy, and the offensive line wasn't performing up to speed. Well, then Warhop hung around, and then he just got picked up right away, I think, by the Texans. Yeah. So I don't know what makes a good offensive line coach, all right? I'd be lying if I did. But I read and saw some tweets and saw some other things that this would be a nice hire with Rauscher. What's the name of the special teams coordinator again? And I'll tell you why this is the done deal with the special teams coordinator. What's his name again?
Heath Farwell.
Farwell, okay. Well, Aaron Wilson just said the Bills have promoted Matthew Smiley to special teams coordinator.
Oh,
so
there you go.
They obviously knew they had a vacancy.
Yeah. Yep.
So you could pretty much consider that a done deal.
Sure.
So is that it? So we got a defensive line assistant, a defensive line coach in Buckner, special teams coordinator in Farwell, Rauscher an offensive line coach, Jim Bob Cooter potentially as a passing game coordinator, Mike McCoy as a QB coach. Defensive coordinator is interesting right now because we've seen Mike Caldwell mentioned, but we're also seeing Gerald Alexander, mentioned. Am I missing anybody right now?
We have Rory Segrest as supposed to be a defensive assistant.
Okay, defensive assistant. So, and maybe that's what instead of defensive line assistant, I think defensive assistant for Segrest. So there's some holes still to fill, but It's starting to take shape here in Jacksonville. And I guess the one to really keep an eye on is who will be the defensive coordinator. If they brought a couple of people in for that position, who will actually get the nod, and what will this defense look like? Because to be honest with you, Austin, let's just say Gerald Alexander gets it.
Yeah.
Like Mike Caldwell, I can kind of tell you what, and you could too, you did this yesterday, this is what the defense might look like.
Yeah.
I have a harder time doing that with Gerald. I don't know what that means. Is that a Flores defense? Is that? Yeah,
that one's a little more tricky just because, he did spend time in Cal, and I have no idea what Cal even – I want to say they've run like a 3-3-5, or maybe in the past they have. He goes to Miami, and, it's the Bill Belichick, it's the hybrid, it's the 3-4. So you might see a little bit of that. But I think with Gerald, it's a lot harder to tell. I think he'd be open to discussing what they could do going forward depending on who they have in the roster.
Yeah.
So I think his is a little more of a question mark, where I think Caldwell's would be probably that 3-4 Tampa defense that you've been used to seeing.
The one thing about you can tell about Pederson, right, is that he is really he thought about this.
Yeah.
He had a year to think about it, and I love that. And he had a plan when he came in here, and you better. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you go interview for a job, let's not over-dramatize this. When you go interview for a job, part of the job is who's your staff? What are you going to have? What's it look like? What you going to run? Like, those are the questions that get asked. That's part of it. And so, I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise, but can you target guys and go get? Now, we don't know exactly if that's the case. He might have picked up the phone 3 times and tried some other guys that he knew, and they were like, yeah, I'm going to stay. I don't want to go, or whatever. Right? My family's not into moving right now. It could have been. But, right, I do like the idea that we at least got some positive momentum around here with early acknowledgement of who his staff might look like. And at least the Jags fans right off the rip seem to like it a little bit. And, again, some positivity around here is not a bad thing. And Doug Pederson's the heavy in bringing some of that positivity. He's right now the sign of positivity as much as Trevor Lawrence was the sign of hope a year ago. Doug Pederson's the guy that can flip this.
No, I mean, I think what it comes down to right now is Doug Pederson knows what's ahead of him, and you have to do this as fast as possible because right around the corner, the franchise tag, I believe, is in March. Then you got free agency coming up. You got the combine coming up, and then the draft. So you got a couple months to try to make everything happen here. And keep in mind, you're still watching film from last year to see who can we keep on this team, who can we put where. So it's a lot right now on Doug Pederson's play, and it's refreshing to know that, hey, he's trying to go as fast as he can and try to get some help, obviously, and then, expedite that process going forward.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell speaking at the Super Bowl week. He's having a news conference really right now. So what's coming out of that? That includes the NFL going to play a game in Germany. We'll give you some of the details of that coming up. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, the latest on the staff. I got some other questions as well. Let's really dissect it today. We're live at UNF Arena. Ospreys play tonight against Bellarmine, 7 o'clock. Come on out, watch some hoops. Ospreys are hot. They've won 2 in a row.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Temperatures turn milder today as we break out into plenty of sunshine. The afternoon high around 65. Still chilly tonight with a bit of light frost west of I-95, well inland, as temperatures drop into the 30s. Mostly sunny and nice tomorrow. Your Thursday high 67. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center. Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead. So make every mile this new year the best it can be in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota's got 500 new Toyotas available and ready for wherever you want to go in 2022. Plus, every new car purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty and Arlington's 30-day exchange program. Where will your new Toyota take you in 2022? Find out and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
The Who hits back.
We don't get fooled again.
Jacksonville, it's your turn.
Sure plays
Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, The Who with an orchestra. ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, April 24th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. The Who, live in concert. There's more at thewho.com.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hola, Carla speaking.
Carla's roofing company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Mira, Jose, can you work Wednesday?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I need postcards printed and designed. Oh, and a targeted direct mail campaign.
It's possible at Staples.
I need my presentation printed, bound, and perfect.
Also possible with Staples Print Big Promise. Your small business marketing will make a big impact. And right now, get 20% off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 2/26. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
My feel is that he'll be back with Green Bay for some reason, just because I believe that comfortable fit. Every quarterback wants that and wants to know they're going to have a chance to compete and not necessarily go to an unknown. But I think there are some good spots out there. You know, Denver, I think, would be a great spot with the team that they've got put together. San Francisco, like I said, I think would be unbelievable if they could make it work. So I'm intrigued like everybody else, but I just have this feeling that we're going to see Green Bay, make a run and find a way to keep Aaron Rodgers.
There's always a way. Not sure he'll have 5 offensive linemen if they keep Aaron Rodgers.
That's a good point.
That's Kurt Warner. Have you seen the new movie of Kurt Warner? What's it called, like Underdog or something?
No. We're all good.
Not into the after-school special?
Yeah, just, I mean, hey, it's a great story. I get that. Just the trailer didn't do anything for me. What about you? You seen it?
No.
Casey?
No, sir.
I will say this, though. I think Kaylee or maybe Steph or both wanted to go see it.
Okay. And Peters.
Well, because they were just like, let's go to the movies, and I think they didn't really know what else to go see.
I got you.
We're not big movie buffs, as you know.
No, hey, this I'm aware of. I mean, truth be told,
what would you go see right now?
In the theater? Well, I just saw Spider-Man.
Okay.
And
we won't see that. That's my point.
And we're going to see the Batman one as a team come March. So
Yeah,
get your mind right for that's in March.
Can't
so
wait.
Get your mind right for that one.
Can't wait.
Get the
Truth
popcorn.
be told, the American Underdog Kurt Warner story, it got 7.3 on the Internet Movie Database isn't bad.
Is that pretty good?
And 75% of Rotten Tomatoes isn't bad either.
Okay.
So better than I thought it was going to do.
Like, what do you think? Like, is the Kurt Warner movie like a little like Rookie of the Year-ish?
See, I never saw that one.
Like, you remember that Disney? You remember that, Casey?
I mean, I know the story where the guy's a teacher.
Yeah.
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 I never saw it.
Kind of has that vibe to it, to
Yeah.
me. Listen, Kurt Warner story is a good story.
You ever seen the guy's name was Rinku? He got signed by the Pirates. He played cricket. What was that called? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Million Dollar Arm, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't John Hamm?
In it? You're not asking
I
me.
don't know. I forgot who the guy in it. But yeah, I haven't seen that one either, Casey, but I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
good. Very good.
All right, let me ask you this. If they made a movie about your life,
Yep.
would it be good?
No.
What if I told you that this guy was the only person in the universe that picked 2 golf picks back to back and got them right? 2 hours of calculating the golf picks and celebration.
And also has 105,000 in the same week on Pac-Man, so it's set a new high.
Yep.
Anything else?
Hey man, this is your life. You tell us.
Listen, I don't think my life would be a good movie. No,
getting ratioed on Twitter for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's not really a good movie.
That's
though.
exciting.
Austin, yours would be good.
To be honest with you, right now,
Better
like,
than ours,
knock on wood,
it's
I don't
a lot
have
of anime
enough.
watching.
I don't have enough drama.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
Probably
have
in
said
my
that.
life. I know, but listen, I got plenty of it. Like in our world, we always think like, what's drama? But like, if you're relatively speaking, like in movie, like terms, I don't think I have enough. Like I've always said, my buddy, and I'm going to let you in on his personal life, but like I feel like we could write a hell of a book or have a good movie about like, and people would believe it was fiction.
Okay.
Like you know people like that. It's like, holy cow, there's no way that all happened. Right?
I mean, could we get a little appetizer? Like, what does he do for a living? Okay. Well, I guess we'll take your word for it then, man.
I mean,
you just can't tell us it's going to be a great movie
I
and
don't
not give us any kind of synopsis.
Yeah,
well, I think you could do the movie just on like the gambling part alone.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Oh,
You
that
know?
friend. Yeah. I'd go
Like-
to see it.
Yeah, like just that. But I'm telling you, there's more to it.
Okay.
We'll take your word.
So I think it'd be pretty good.
Who would you? Who's playing your? Is Matt Damon playing your
Yeah, probably.
movie then? Casey, who you got?
I don't know. I would need someone that looks sort of like Luke Combs because I feel like I look a little bit like him, but he's not an actor.
I mean, it can be anybody.
Yeah, but by the way, Tim McGraw's an actor now, man. So Luke Combs will be an actor at some point. If he's going to get bored putting out #1 hits.
Casey, you know Luke Combs?
Yeah.
Luke Combs would be pretty good.
As an actor?
Why not?
He's never acted before.
I don't know.
Casey's movie's going straight to DVD with Luke Combs.
You know the guy.
Okay.
Who's the guy in the? I'm gonna do a bad job of it. You got to think of a guy with a beard. How about
Casey,
from like Tim the Toolman Taylor show? Who's that guy?
Tim Allen?
No, the other
Al
guy. The guy with
Borland?
the beard. I need a guy with a beard.
That's just playing Casey?
Well, maybe not.
Oh man!
I need a.
I'm just looking at a beard, man.
Bro,
Hey,
Luke
Casey,
Combs is a big dude with a reddish beard. I'm a big dude with
Yeah,
a
but-
reddish beard. I just can't sing at all.
Casey, you
You know,
know who
he's
I was
got
thinking
hits.
of? And I can't remember the guy's name. I know. Chris Pratt.
Yo, tell you what, you just
Chris Pratt,
disrespected
dude.
Chris Pratt a lot. He
I
looks
disrespect
he
Chris
looks
Pratt.
15 times better than I do.
You're selling yourself short. First of all, makeup and everything. It doesn't matter like what the guy looks like. It's like personality and what he can bring to the table.
I'd take Chris Pratt twice on Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, I think Chris Pratt would kill your role.
The real question is if
Not
they
Al Borland from.
Yeah, that was tough.
Oof.
That was a tough sell.
Who's the guy in the GIF? GIF.
GIF?
You know the guy that he just kind of like
Gonna be more
nods
specific, Brent.
with the
Oh, yeah,
beard?
that one GIF. That one.
That nods
You
with the
know
beard.
it. It's used a lot. It's like
That nods with the beard.
nods. I don't know. Is it
Zach
it from a movie?
Galifianakis?
I don't know.
Well, that'd be a good one.
I got.
All right, here's
I would
the
rather take
real
Chris Pratt.
question. If they
Yeah.
made a movie about Coach Matthew Driscoll, who would play him?
Oh man. Go and give me Daniel Day-Lewis because I want to. Because you know how Daniel Day-Lewis is. He's a method actor, right? So he has to live at Coach Driscoll 24/7, 365 to try to find that character. I don't think Daniel Day-Lewis can do it. In terms of energy, in terms of hype,
Yeah, I don't know if he could do it, but
I think Daniel Day-Lewis would drop out of the role.
Here's the question, Matthew Driscoll: Would your life be a good movie? That's what we're asking. Kurt Warner's life is made into a movie. Mine would not, I don't think. do you think I'd want to go see your movie?
Well, from a Christian standpoint, maybe you might want to go see it. So it wouldn't be a big blockbuster, but it might get like 6 or 7 looks. I'd say Travis Kelce, by the way, would be a good one for a reddish-haired kind of a bearded big dude. And then I think what's my man's name from the Waltons? He's a producer. Howard, what's his name?
Howard.
Yeah, you know him. He's kind of.
First of all, Coach, I know nobody when it comes to this one. Actors.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, Ron. Are you talking about Ron Howard? For producer?
There you go, Ron Howard.
Oh, Ron Howard. Okay,
okay. He, in his younger years, he would be a good red-haired guy that could play the coach role.
I'm not mad at that.
All right, I like it, Coach Matthew
That's the first thing that came to mind.
I like it. Your movie would include a 2-game winning streak here with the Ospreys, so that's good. And you guys play Bellarmine tonight. How you feeling about your basketball team?
Well, first of all, I think when we talked last, the one thing that we talked about was how consistently we've been defending. And I think it's kind of getting swept under the carpet a little bit because we're finally, playing well on the other end, but we haven't foregone what we've done on the defensive end. We're now the second best defensive team in the league. And I think that consistency in and of itself has really helped us to get, 2 in a row, 3 of the last 4, and continue to build upon what we already thought because we figured the other end was going to come, but we couldn't let the other end come back if we were going to, sacrifice on the defensive side. And the guys bought into that, and now we're getting numbers back to where we were in the non-conference from a statistical standpoint, which is obviously boding well for us. And when you play Jacksonville State, obviously, and you play the way we played, and Carter gets a career high, and then he gets hurt, you can't play against North Alabama. So now you're going into that game in a short turnaround, with a completely different, kind of idea of how you're going to approach it from a game planning standpoint without Carter. And the guys turn around again and get another double-digit win on the road and pretty much control it for the last 10 minutes. So super proud of that kind of resolve because in February, that it's very, very difficult in February because of injuries and because of little things like that can really turn your lineup around. Maybe a guy gets a flu, guy gets COVID, whatever, and you could take one person out of the lineup when it's really critical for seeding and it's really critical for, to prepare for that tournament play, which we know those 4 games right now in March are the most important. So the dog days of disciplined attitude wins games, like those dog days are here, and our guys have really embraced that.
Coach, when you talk about embracing being a defensive team and putting up those numbers, I mean, in the sport of basketball, there's really no magic thing you can say, all right, let's be a great defensive team, right? That comes directly from the gym, right? That's the hard work, the cardio, because you can't really fake, I guess, being a great defensive team, correct?
That's a really good point from a conditioning standpoint. I mean, it really takes unbelievable effort to sit down, to stay down, to like long rebounds, and then they get them, and you got to guard again for 30 more seconds. And then get shot clock violations. I think we got 3 shot clock violations on Saturday. And when you do those kind of things, you're right. From a physicality standpoint, you got to sustain. And then you take a guy out of the lineup, and now guys that haven't been playing as much are now playing more. So now their, conditioning and their cardio and their sustainability. So that's a great point and a great insight as far as, it's a mental grind, but the physicality. Like tonight will be a very, very physical game. Bellarmine is a very, very physical team. And they move the ball extremely quick on offense, and they do something very unique. They play out of the post. So they play everybody, 6 foot to whatever, 6'8". All those guys are going to get touches in the post, and they play out of it. And the reason is because they catch a sleep and they get a back cut. They catch a sleep and they get a pitch out 3. They catch a sleep and they get a whatever. So they're one of unique offenses and a different kind of an offense that really no one's really seen around here before. No one's played that way before. Lipscomb plays out of the elbow. These guys actually physically play out of the post. So it's going to be a different kind of a scenario for us, a different scheme, a different prep, but one that guys have done a great job because obviously we've had a little longer time since coming back. So it's not a short turnaround. So we've had some time to put some prep into it. And last year, if you remember, guys, we were supposed to play them twice, and both games got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
So we actually never physically played them last year.
Matthew
so
Driscoll with
this
us.
will be the first time since they've been in the league that we've actually played them. Now our guys got to see them play in the tournament because obviously they played here. But that's not the same as playing them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and absolutely. Matthew Driscoll with us, UNF basketball coach. Tonight, Bellarmine comes to town. Ospreys have won a couple in a row. It's funny you said that because you lead kind of in. I was thinking, I mean, you have Jacksonville State and Bellarmine and Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky. You know, I get like people know what you want to do. You've been around here a long time. And even if they haven't played you, do you get the sense that they kind of know what to expect from you? Or when you face off against different programs and haven't played them that much, is there a getting used to their style? Or even if you've seen it on tape and you kind of know what they want to do, once you actually get out on the floor, is there a little bit of a feeling out? Whereas, you know, the Florida Gulf Coast and now the Liberties and the Stetsons, you've been playing those guys for so long that you kind of know what to expect from them.
That's you know what, Brent? There's probably way more to that than meets the eye, because I think the biggest point you made was you can see it all you want to see it on, just like speed football. I mean, you can see the way, you know, people get up to the line and they do that and they play like that. Like, you can see it on film all you want, but until you get out there and play with it, then you do what Austin said. You're trying to catch your breath, or you're trying to catch your wind, or you're trying to get a sub in. And so, yes, I think that's a really, really good point that you make. It's almost like there's a period where you have to understand, this is what coach meant. Well, you just got to hope it doesn't take too long. You know, you try to simulate it as best you can. But in the same breath, it's not what you do. Just like we don't, I'll give you a good example. We don't simulate pressing. So every day we work on press offense. So like the other day when North Alabama was pressing us, we were getting dunks and we were getting threes. And when Jacksonville State tried to press us, we were getting dunks and we were getting fouled. And so every day we work on press offense, but it's not against anyone. It's more, you know, it's more schematic. It's more fundamental, like be here, do this, do that. And so, like, you play Michigan State Friday, Michigan Saturday, travel to VCU, play them Monday. Well, you can't prepare for their pressure. So, you know, bada bing, bada boom, we missed a 3 with 2 minutes to go to tie the game. And we made, I think, 14 threes because we were breaking their press and shooting threes. So you bring up a really, really interesting view for the viewers tonight to see, because they're so different. And how our guys adjust to that difference and how quickly they recognize what we tried to simulate for them.
Let's leave you with this so you can go take a nap. Just get in the Murray State, Austin, like, headspace. I mean, how good – you watch the NBA all the time. How good is Ja Morant?
So I think there's a lot more Ja Morants than people realize. And what I mean by that is, you know, Dallas Moore was that kind of an explosive dude, but he ain't 6'3". So therefore, he it's hard for him to take that step. You know, Isaiah Cannon, if you remember him from Murray State, he got to the league, and then right after him was the lefty. What was his name? Whatever his name. He was a fourth. Yeah, he was a fourth. What's his name? Payne. He was a 14th pick in the draft. But they're all 6'3" guys, and Ja. The thing about Ja, he's so super athletic, but if you knew his work ethic coming out of high school, you could just see that this guy had a chance to be special. But a high major team, they may not be able to wait for that. They may not think that this, that, or the other. But he's got that one thing. He's got that size. And when you got that size and you got that work ethic, it doesn't matter where you go. You know, Steph Curry, you know, comes out of Davidson, but he's 6'3". At the end of the day, he's 6'3". So, you know, when you look at a team like Murray State, I voted for them this week for top 25. I think they're 22 or 23-2, and obviously going to the Missouri Valley with Belmont, and they've always had a guy like that that's come through the pipeline. So to their credit, they do a good job developing.
Yeah. By the way, worth a note, and I know you got to run, but how about J.D. Note, the way he's playing for Arkansas, was in this league playing for JU, and Noah Horkler, who played right here for you, Coach, is doing a nice job at number 11, the Providence Friars. So you got some former A-Sun guys really doing a heck of a job for some of the some good programs.
Well, I think that's going to be another conversation you and I are going to have in the spring. So, you know, kind of what's going to happen with that, you know, tampering and transfer portal and all those kind of different things. And I'm not, and Noah wasn't that, and and JT Note, he was leaving. But I'm just saying, I think there's going to be a lot more of those stories than there are now.
Yeah, I agree with you, too. It makes it tough for programs like UNF, potentially. I know people tried to pick off Dallas Moore for a long time around here, and you were able to keep them. So, hey, Coach, good luck tonight. Have a good nap. We'll see you back here in a bit, 7 o'clock against Bellarmine.
Thank you, my brothers. Appreciate you.
You bet. It's Matthew Driscoll, UNF basketball coach, and it is interesting to note. They're telling. I don't know if you watched that Arkansas game last night, but
I saw the highlights.
I mean, Note is legit, you know, and he was at Jay. But the problem is, it forgot, and I know this. This is a tough conversation, especially these days with no sitting out time, and the transfer portal really hurts programs like this, programs like a JU, programs like that are in the A-Sun, because it's hard to keep a guy. You got everybody nibbling and nibbling, and that was real with Dallas Moore. Like, we didn't know Dallas Moore was going to come back for his last year because we had heard, like, hey, they're trying to pick him off. And that's appetizing for a kid, right, to go play at another level, SEC or Big 12 or whatever. But if you want to win big in this, if you want to have a special team and go to the dance, you need steel guys like that, like Moore, like Horkler, like J.D. Note to stay on campus and be a part of your program, because that's how you elevate yourself above everybody else. John Morant's a great example at Murray State.
Absolutely. Are you surprised? I guess maybe I'm not surprised, but Arkansas stormed the court like that?
Nah, because I think I saw something. I think their stat against number one was really bad. I think I saw that pop up in the broadcast. And you know what it is for Musselman? That's a great exposure thing. Like, I think that's why the coaches don't care anymore. It's like, hey, dude, it's just one game. Yeah. But I think they like it because, like, look at the atmosphere here.
No,
look at
for
the
sure,
scene
for
here.
sure. Yeah,
it's almost a recruiting tool.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get storming the court for that. Like, I wonder. Like, I saw the highlights last night. I'm like, I wonder, like, what draws the line of when you can storm the court or not.
Yeah,
like,
that's been blurred a lot lately.
Well, I mean, like, if Auburn was like number 8 or 9, would you storm the court then?
No. I think he's got to be like number 1, maybe 2 or 3.
That or was an upset
against
your rival,
or somebody. Storm the court. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. The NFL's going to Germany. The Jags are going back to London. We've kind of figured that and knew that, but it's official now. We'll tell you the latest on ESPN 690 when we come back.
What is happening on the campus of the University of North Florida? There's an easy way to find out. Go to UNFOspreys.com. Middle of the winter sports season right now. Check out news, schedules, and results. Men's and women's basketball tickets on sale as well at UNFOspreys.com. And the spring season is on the horizon, and the schedule is out in softball and baseball. Find out how you can get tickets. Put it on the calendar. All you have to do is visit UNFOspreys.com.
And now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for 2 at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. limited. Go to actionsportsjaxstream18.com. The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Integrity of the game is obviously an important element, just as making sure we have the right culture in our organizations across the league and at clubs. But we are going to look into that, and we will make sure that if there were violations, that they won't be tolerated. I couldn't speculate on what they'll be because we'll have to find out what the facts are. What's the outcome? And when we know what those facts are and the impact it has on our game, we'll deal with it very seriously.
That is Roger Goodell meeting with the media over the last hour out at the Super Bowl in L.A. Casey, nice upgrade, by the way. I see the follow ESPN 690 on social media during the commercial breaks on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Appreciate it.
Hey, you know what you got to do, but most importantly, real quick, not that I'm trying to build my own brand, but hold on real quick. Shout out to Alex. He gave me a follow when I put that up, so we're one closer to the dream.
There you go, Alex. That a baby. What is the dream?
I have no idea yet.
Okay.
But just more than it currently is. You know what I mean? If you follow me, it's just you want to be a part of something. I'm not sure what yet, but something.
I like it, man.
You be part of something. Part of the team that bails me out.
There we go.
Whatever it takes.
Oh, man.
That's good stuff, though. Appreciate all the work Casey does on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch feeds. And where you're watching the show. Brent Martineau along with Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. We're at UNF Arena. Ospreys play Bellarmine tonight, 7 o'clock. I'll have the call of that one, so Ospreys go for 3 in a row. Roger Goodell, let's hit on a couple quick topics, and then we'll get more football and Jags talk and their staff and everything coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Obviously, they know it's unacceptable for what's going on in terms of diversity in the NFL. I mean, but actions speak louder than words. How much do you think he met on the Rooney Rule earlier this week? Will something change out of this? I mean, where's this headed?
I mean, to me, once again, it comes down to exactly what happens with the whole Brian Flores situation to know exactly how drastically this stuff's going to change. You know, if Flores' accusations, they come with some ground, then I think you're going to have a situation where, you're going to have to kind of burn the whole thing down and build it back up again in terms of how we view the Rooney rule and what we were talking about black coaches going forward. So I think that's kind of the domino that's got to fall right now. But in the meantime, yeah, I think Roger Goodell's still got to do his job and keep, educating teams and saying, hey, guys, we're not looking good right now. Let's go ahead and fix that a little bit.
Yeah,
please.
if you're the NFL, you don't want to step in and be part of the process. But I have made the case that maybe there should be a third party involved in the process to see it a little bit closer. So the Giants situation doesn't happen especially. So you haven't made up your mind before you interview candidates. By the way, white or black coach,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that situation, men or women. Like, let everybody have their, their fair chance and then make a decision. And there's always somebody in the back of your mind that you lean toward. That's just human nature. But before you actually settle on it as an organization, have those conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, make sure you have all the interviews done or cancel it.
Of course.
One of the two. The other, Washington is going to investigate itself. Goodell did have a good response here. It's like, hey, I don't know how you can have a good investigation if you're investigating yourself.
Yeah, so Washington is hiring a third party to investigate the investigation.
Yeah,
right. Is that what, I'm just making sure I understand.
Investigate really everything that they've done and everything going on. So
now, could the people, the plaintiffs coming forward against Washington, could they hire a third party to investigate the third party that's investigating the investigation?
Probably could.
I think so.
You know what this screams to me, and I don't know enough of it. Okay, but maybe this screams to me like, is this almost like college teams with the NCAA telling on themselves so they don't get as much of a penalty? You know what? Like how they would turn themselves in, and so they would get a penalty, but maybe not as severe because they acknowledged it. Like are they trying to do that? That's the only thing I can think about. The NFL will play its first games in Germany. You want to go?
I'm good. I mean, like, do you
one
think
game a year over 4 years? I think.
Okay, that's only, I was going to ask you how many games a year is it?
Where else? Munich and somewhere else. Munich's Germany, right? Bayern.
Well,
it's in the Byron. It's in Byron Stadium, right?
Byron.
Is that how you say it?
Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Yeah, football is really big actually in Germany. I had a couple of friends that played over there, like semi-professionally in the German leagues. And it's funny how they operate there, where you can only have 2 Americans on the field at the same time in those German leagues. So you have to put like a giant A on your helmet to let you know that you're American.
That's awesome.
That
is
pretty
dude,
wild.
It's crazy, man. It's like, there's like a giant just taped A on their helmet to let you know, okay, this guy's an American.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. And the Jags going back to London. More details on that and more on the Jags coaching search. And I've got a question about something Austin said earlier. And another question or two about putting together the Jags roster. Man, I got a lot to get to. We're live at UNF Arena on ESPN 690. We're back after this.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The Who hits back. We don't get fooled again. Jacksonville, it's your turn. Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, The Who with an orchestra. Why don't you all Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena, April 24th. Who are you? Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. The Who, live in concert. There's more at thewho.com.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18, my home course. Make it your home course, too.
Get revved up for the Jacksonville International Auto Show because it's bigger than ever. We're adding an extra day. The show opens Thursday, February 17th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. With inventory tight across Florida, it's your unique chance to experience the latest models, new EVs, crossovers, SUVs, and trucks, rare exotics, remarkable classics. Tickets on Thursday the 17th are half price. Bring a food donation for Feeding Northeast Florida. Free parking from ViStar Credit Union, discount coupons at gate gas stations. Get your tickets now at jacksautoshow.com.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Time is running out on your chance to enter the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares sweepstakes. Every time the score changes, somebody's going to win $50,000. That means every touchdown, field goal, 50 G's. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. Get in the game today. See rules.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 11/11/22. Equal housing letter licensed all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities have not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
His offensive linemen feel it. His other teammates on defense feel his poise. And to be in year 2 and be on a team that he's just, every team he goes up against in the playoffs, they're just outmatched. They have, from top to bottom, typically better rosters in Kansas City and here in LA against the Rams. And they just find a way to win. They've been extremely poised. They've been extremely opportunistic and made plays and made interceptions on defense, got the ball back in Joe's hands, and found ways to get the ball to their playmakers on offense.
I don't know who that is.
Oh. Cincinnati Bengals legend, I'll say.
It wasn't Boomer.
No, but you're there.
Ken Anderson?
Nope.
Carson Palmer?
That's it.
Let's go, Casey.
Good call.
Let's go.
Would you say legend, though? Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right.
People looking at me, I don't even care, man. That's a big point for me today.
That is a big point.
Yeah, that was good.
It's a good
Voice
point.
really carries in this gym. I like it.
Yeah, it does.
I like it a lot. People can stare all they want.
We can't, considering our back is turned to him, we
Oh,
won't even
yeah.
know.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. I got the bright lights on me in my
By the way,
element
it's
right
like
now.
a good shot right now. See, this we get a little advantage here. We peek into UNF Arena.
Yeah, the light's a little bright. I'll be honest. But
I live in this world all the time.
No, I hear you. But I can't believe you don't have like Coke bottle glasses because if this is your world right here, man. I don't know how long I can sustain your world.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm
going to be going to jiu-jitsu tonight. I'm going to just see sunspots all over the place, and I'm not going to have any idea where I am. But it's cool.
You got any updates on fights or what? What's the deal,
Waiting
man?
to see, man. Waiting to see. Nothing's official yet, unfortunately.
All right. Can you tell me more? Let's
not
be
like
honest. Can you
effort.
tell me more in the break, or is that you're going to tell me in the break too?
No, I could probably tell you a little more in the break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Just
I don't
talking to the
wanna- I don't
microphone,
think-
though, so I can hear it.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
It won't be on. I just want to feel included.
Well, the way these things
The
work,
red light's on.
I mean, it's like Byron Leftwich to the Jags. You got to make sure that it's going to happen.
Well, maybe you should put an envelope, Brent, and then we can spend 2 weeks about
my
what's Austin
goodness.
going to do with his next MMA fight. Yeah. Let's do that again.
The problem is I don't know who to pick from. Can you give me a few?
There's a lot of names out there, yeah. I can give you a couple.
That would be good. That'd be helpful. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz here on a Wednesday at UNF Arena. And Ospreys will play Bellarmine tonight. And we're just talking. So the NFL's going to Germany. You like it?
I mean, I think it's great for growing the sport, yeah. I'm not sure from a player's perspective how much I would like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm bad at the
geography.
I'm bad at the geography part.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference going to London and Germany? Like, are we talking another couple hours, few hours, half a day? Like, what are we?
I mean, it's
Is it
Europe, so I think it'd be a couple hours.
Europe's big.
Well, yeah.
So on the map,
No.
on the map,
Seriously, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's all right.
you would go United Kingdom, Netherlands, and then Germany. So, like, in theory, they are close together, if you will, but it would definitely be a longer flight.
So it might be
Germany
like a 10
to London.
hour.
Germany to London flight time, 1 hour and 54 minutes.
There you
Thank
go.
you very much. Don't act like it's Europe and it's this giant continent. They're right next door.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know if it was like south of it.
Nah, it's like
I
us
knew-
flying to.
I know it's not west of it because you'd be in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Did you know the United Kingdom's like an island? Did anybody know that?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm going to turn my mic off now.
Yeah.
No, you're all right.
Yeah, you
I
can
mean,
take
they-
like an underground, like
They were known for their Navy back in the
subway
day.
type of thing to Paris from London.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
If we had spent 2 weeks there, which
Yeah.
we thought could be a plausibility,
Yep.
we would have made that trip and go over to Paris for like a day.
So what is it from London to Jacksonville? It's like
So that trip's about, I want to say, give or take, 8 to 9 hours.
okay.
And
So,
so
you're
you're
asking
adding another
2, 11.
And you did a flight. You said flight?
Yeah, flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, another 2 hours to Germany.
Okay.
So it's not going to really – I mean, it's already bad
well,
enough.
if you're coming
right?
from the West Coast, that's a little.
Well, yeah,
that's a
that's-
little worse, man.
Yeah. I don't know when, like, the cutoff would be. Like, hey,
Sure.
it's only another 2 hours. Or
Yeah.
is it another, like, 5 hours that's like, okay, we're never going 5 hours.
True.
over.
True. Yeah.
But
Well, here you're acting like they're crossing a desert or something to get to Germany. Well, it's Europe. You get it's 2 hours, man. It's
I don't
nothing.
know. I mean, it's
Hey,
well,
I'm bad at geography.
but they are I've heard they like their football, so we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes and what that means. Jags are going back to London, so I guess none of this is really that breaking news. Like I think if the NFL, like there was talk about them going to China, I think at one time, wasn't there?
Maybe.
I don't know when. Like I said, I don't know where the threshold is where it's like, holy cow, they've been to Mexico.
Yeah.
You can play a game in Canada, obviously with, but London has become a thing.
Sure. Moon.
Moon.
Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos setting it up. Hey, tell me Jeff Bezos doesn't want some of that.
Elon Musk
Get
and
his
Jeff
grubby
Bezos,
little paws on that.
They're actually taking pylons up to the moon and goalposts. They're building it slowly.
That's what the excursion was all about. Yeah, they're slowly building just materials to build the stadium.
Like I think the you know where the coolest place to play would be
Let's
if
hear
you
it.
could pull it off, and you can't. You just can't.
Okay.
But to me, what would make sense and to showcase the game is like Australia. Because of Australian rules football. Like, that's a big thing in Australia as far as I know.
Yeah, no, for sure. But why could you just because of the distance? It's a
Oh,
long
yeah,
way.
I think,
yeah,
I don't, I think
travel's
that's
a nightmare.
That's not feasible.
It's like a day.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
crazy. I've never been, but I think it's crazy kind of travel. So
Yeah.
that would not make some sense. With the NFL, again, the reason why the NFL is saturated in the United States of America, and in many respects, while not completely on the North American continent, it's getting that way. Now, you could go Mexico and Canada, and you could do a little bit more of that. But if you want to spread your wings and be the NBA and Major League Baseball and hockey, and tennis and golf, like it's crazy how big the NFL is and football is in America, and they're not near as global as those sports.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And from the NFL's standpoint, it's like, all right, you've kind of maximized what you can do in the United States in terms of revenue. So I get it, trying to expand your horizons and go to different countries and try to grow the game there. It makes a lot of sense. But, had they really exhausted all avenues in the United States? We always talk about the NHL. They do the stadium series. Couldn't they do some kind of NFL stadium series where it's they play in a famous location? I mean, I don't know what that would even look like in terms of the stadium they would play at. But couldn't they do something like that where they have a stadium series game?
Yeah,
in the U.S.
I guess they could. I mean, here's what would be fascinating about the NFL if they do it: is play an NFL game, like Notre Dame.
Yeah, there you go.
Even though. But they would see. You know why they wouldn't do that, Austin? Is because there's this bravado about the college game versus the NFL game. They wouldn't stoop to that level, but that would be kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
But I think to your point, you could do something like that. We have wondered before, and I think they did this. Where did they do this at Bristol? And then they just put the race in the Coliseum.
Yeah, that was.
Well, we have wondered if Daytona they would ever do a football game.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Do Tampa against the Jags or Miami against the Jags at Daytona.
Yeah.
Would that be a different venue? Would that be cool? I just don't know if they're getting enough buzz off that. They're already selling the tickets in Miami or in Jacksonville or wherever. What they're doing here is, we know what it is in London. The ticket is 5 times the value. Well, not 5. That's a little much. Maybe 3 times the value of what it costs in Jacksonville. And so, therefore, when they sell out 80,000 people one game, and then you multiply that by the ticket cost, it's $180 or something, American dollars. Well, now you're talking, and also you're giving exposure to everybody in London. You can sign on a sponsor, a sponsor that has an American headquarters, all those things. And so when you cross that pond and you do those kind of things with Germany, which is very Americanized as well, right?
Yeah.
And so has a feel for the game of football, has people that come from the States and live in Germany, or Germany that live in the States. You can make that connection. There is just so much room for growth from an international standpoint for the game of football and for the NFL brand that really – I'm not saying there's not more room for growth for golf, tennis, Major League Baseball, NBA, but they're already growing like that.
Yeah. My biggest concern, though, golf is one thing because, it's golf. In terms of physicality, it doesn't hold a candle to the NFL. And that's my biggest concern is if we try to saturate the game so much, we got players playing in Germany and players playing in China and all over the world, what is that going to do for just their physical health, though, in terms of travel and in terms of all that stuff? Now, if it's once a year, okay, then maybe you can make it work. But, I have a hard time believing, maybe for the first time players would be all about it, but I think that would be pretty old, riding in an airplane for 12, 13, 14-plus hours to go play football than having to fly back. The flight there is one thing. The flight back when you're banged up, when you're sore, is a completely different animal. So I think the NFL's got to be careful with that a little bit in terms of maybe turning off some of their players who maybe aren't really interested in traveling all around the world to play football.
I agree with you, by the way. I've never thought it was feasible to put a franchise in London or anywhere else. I never thought it was happening. It never made sense to me. You can threaten it. You can talk about it. I think the economics of the NFL going abroad makes sense in a lot of ways, but you're not going to get me to go commit that the franchise going over there. Here's what I wonder that could happen. Just a wild guess. When you have NBA, right, you have also the Euro League, and you have all these leagues all over Europe and
Sure.
other places and Asia and everywhere, right? And guys like Dallas Moore and heck, half the team that was part of this NCAA tournament is playing overseas and making money.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's good quality basketball. It's not the NBA, but it's quality basketball. I wonder if some 25, 50 years down the road, the NFL gets to a point where they can have a league of their own, like it used to be the World League, right? That's what they tried. But now they have educated everybody. They've created so much hype. There's so much awareness and brand awareness of Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence and everybody else that now people start playing the game over there. It becomes a global game. And now you have talent over there. And then you mix in the United States talent. And now you have these sub-leagues that the NFL kind of owns the product. That's what they tried to do essentially with the World League. It just didn't last that long. By the way, Doug Pederson played in the World League.
Yeah, but they have that right now. They have the programs, the ambassador programs where if you watch Hard Knocks, I forgot who the player was, but they had a guy in Dallas offensive lineman that was part of that thing. Where I forgot where he was from, but they have like things set up in Germany and around the world, really, where it's like the ambassador program, where if you're good at football, then you can maybe get an opportunity for a tryout and then hopefully sign on to a team. So like that's growing already. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying in terms of, in basketball, that's kind of the prime example, and I think Yao Ming really kind of helped push that a little bit because, Yao Ming becomes the household name, and all of a sudden basketball in China seemed like it went up, exponentially, and then all of a sudden other countries followed as well. So, yeah, I mean, there is room for growth. I think football is a little more difficult just because you do need, you need equipment, you need resources, you need a lot more things you do for the sport of basketball.
You know what else you need? You need big people.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like big people and good athletes. I know we have some folks that were born like in Germany, say, on military bases. A young man went to Ed White for a year. I think it was Ed White. Maybe it was Parker. I think it was Ed White. Now plays for the Patriots. Jacob, fullback. Jacob Johnson, I think is his name. And he stopped here for like a year. He wasn't a Jacksonville guy, but he's born, I think, in Germany.
Okay.
Came to the United States. His dad was in the service, right? Okay. And so he's moving all around and ends up in Jacksonville for a year. And then he ends up with the New England Patriots, down the road.
Was he in the Navy? Or not?
His dad?
No, him.
I don't think he was.
Okay,
I don't think he was.
Okay,
no.
I think it's somebody else.
And
then.
so my point being is you have a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But when are we going to get to your point, Yao Ming, who is definitely not American, but can transcend the game across the globe? Mm-hmm. When are we getting the guy that plays like Patrick Mahomes but was born in London?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do we ever get that? And while I understand it feels very far-fetched right now, but the introduction to the game to London and England has now been a decade long. You're going to grow some of those things. You're going to grow somebody that wants to play the game, that wants to learn the skill sets. And Germany has been like that for a long time. But I think that would be the next level. The next step is, can you get an international player to play the game in the NFL at a high level? It obviously would come here to college first, right? Like that's what happens with tennis and golf. Like they come to the United States to play college tennis, college golf, and then eventually end up on the tour.
So here's how I see that. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon because I compare it to the sport of soccer. The sport of soccer is a global sport, biggest sport in the world. Now in the United States, it's took some time to build up, but I mean it's growing popularity. But how long has soccer been in the United States? Has there ever been a soccer player that's been compared to a Messi or Ronaldo? No, I mean you've had great players. You've had Landon Donovan and players like that.
I feel like Freddie Adu was kind of the guy that they thought might be able to do that.
But then he fell off. Yeah. So
is Pulisic? Does he have any chance to be that kind of guy?
Casey, feel free to chime in here, man. This is more your world.
Does he probably have the chance? I mean, no, but he is very good. He is the best prospect they've had in a very, very long time.
But so we need more of those guys.
Yeah, but if you, right? Yeah, you do. And I forget the number now, but BR Soccer just posted this the other day. The United States it's 50 players playing overseas in Europe right now. So they're growing.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they've been consistently growing it. And then obviously Christian is the main one because he's on such a, Chelsea is such a huge stage. And that's where he is right now.
Would you say right now, Casey, is there a top 10 player in the world that's from the United States? Or has it really ever? I mean, I guess
no.
I don't know.
No, I wouldn't. Pulisic would be close. Clint Dempsey was very good for a while. You could say Tim Howard at the time.
Yeah, goalkeeper.
Yeah, but he was a keeper. So yeah, but right now, I mean, your top options would be probably Pulisic.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's a good comparison. The difference is we've been playing soccer in the United States for a long time.
Yeah.
But we haven't necessarily been playing it. We don't do a very good job of it at a pro level. I would imagine you take the MLS, and they're pretty good, but you take an MLS team, say in Atlanta, who draws very well, they're going to go get their butt whooped by Chelsea, right?
I think, Chelsea has a lot more talent.
Yes,
for sure.
So, but that's the idea.
Yeah.
Is right. Can you build that up? Can you make an MLS of sorts somewhere in Europe?
Sure.
At some point, with the combination of London and Germany, and now you're a couple hours apart, and you take 6 hours like we do on the West Coast and East Coast, and you're able to put together some teams and play, and then create this. Again, that might be 20 years down the road, but we might still be 20 years down the road on having one of the best top 10 soccer players in the world, which is actually unfathomable in my opinion. It just feels like we would by now have had somebody great.
Sure. No, absolutely. I mean, in terms of athletes that the USA produces, I mean, look no further than the Olympics. Well, the Summer Olympics, not so much the Winter Olympics right now. But like you look at the athletes, and you think eventually, yeah, somebody would come up. And not to say there haven't been great soccer players in the United States, but I don't think there's ever really been a top 5.
Yeah, there's nobody like Messi
in the world. No.
And by the way, if we did have somebody the caliber of Messi or Ronaldo,
he'd be a star.
They'd be unbelievably a star.
But ironically, I mean, the women are the stars.
Well, that's a good point in our country. Yes,
that is a good
you're right.
call.
We have had that on the women's side.
We have it on the women's side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point being is like LeBron James, the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordan, they were stars like all over the globe.
Yeah.
And they came from the United States, you know, in basketball, in a global game.
Yeah. It's probably said I can probably name more female soccer players than I can
that's
men's soccer
story.
players in the U.S.
It's one of the few things from a men versus women's sport
Yeah.
that is actually, like, there's no doubt women's soccer has more history, better players, more tradition, is just better than the men's soccer program in the United States. Like, I think if you ask 10 people, they would be able to do the same, and I think they'd rather watch the women's soccer program than the men.
Yeah.
And, like, let's just be honest, that's not the case when it comes to golf, say, or basketball. Like, that's not the case. I mean, not to say we don't have good players, but most people you ask, you're going to say, yeah, you're going to watch the NBA or the WNBA.
Correct.
Right? The ratings tell the story there. I think the other one that comes close to this is like tennis, because there are times like I'd rather watch Serena Williams play than I'd rather watch even Nadal play.
No, that's a
You know
great
what I mean?
comparison as well. Yeah, I mean, I think women's tennis does have the stars as well, especially for the United States.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not even close.
I was just going to say to that point, like, who are the great American tennis players?
Well, not right now.
In
we don't
men's,
have any.
in men, yeah,
You
okay.
had
yeah.
Roddick, right? That was it.
And he wasn't great.
No, but he was
overhyped.
probably the most. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, he was overhyped. Like, he really wasn't. He was supposed to be. He
So
carried
then,
the flag a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, shoot, recently, like, our best tennis player, I think, has been, like, John Isner.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah,
He's the one that went, like, to that crazy long match in Wimbledon a few years back. But,
Okay.
like, I mean,
yeah.
he's very average on the
So you have to
on
go all the way
Grand
back to like
Landscape.
John McEnroe then.
You have to go back to Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe,
Arthur Ashe. I mean, way back
Arthur
in the
Ashe,
day.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I lives in town. Mal Washington was at that level.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm missing some right now as we go down this list. But it's like even when Andre Agassi, right? Pete
Yeah.
Sampras.
What was Pete Sampras? U.S. or was he Greek?
Sampras was that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
And so, like, so we did have it. Like, we had at least guys that could I mean, Agassi was one of the biggest stars in the world, given the hair and the flair and the image. I'll give you another one for a while. Michael Chang.
Okay,
He had a good little run for a couple years. Like, I remember him in the U.S. Open. So, like when I'm growing up, like, we did have American tennis stars. Now, we also had, like, Boris Becker, right? And guys like Yvonne Lendl.
Yeah.
Like, we had guys that were really good across the world, too.
Yeah.
But nothing like this. This is just so dominated by Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal. Now, I will say this. Federer, there's parts, like, of golf and tennis, I believe, that some guys feel like they're American. And Federer at times feels like he's American to me.
See,
like I say that, like Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy is not an American golfer.
Yeah.
He feels like he's so Americanized
Sure.
that he's like American.
See, but to me, Federer, I mean, and I don't watch a lot of tennis, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But like when I've seen Federer, like he seems more reserved though. Like I feel like the American game, it's more like in your face. It's more like intense. I mean, I think of John McEnroe.
Yeah, that's true.
I think of John McEnroe, Bjorn Borg, whereas like
Connors
Borg
was
was
like
it was like the Terminator, it's a cyborg, and then McEnroe was like all the emotions rolled into one.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is just interesting globally from those standpoints of the different sports. And will we ever get stars from football? Like, I think it's possible. I think it's possible that we get these. Remember, we tried the rugby guys a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe there's still somebody that develops born from the rugby game, but then evolves into the NFL game.
Yeah.
And then comes over to the States and puts on a show, like runs a 4-1-8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and just, holy God, look at this guy that has great hands, you know?
I think if you do get a star, it's going to be like an offensive lineman.
And that's possible.
Has there been? There's not a.
I mean, there might be. I don't know. Like, there might be somebody with a background, but my guess is they've lived in the States for some time.
Sure, yeah.
And
because I know there's a guy on the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken, just signed a contract maybe last year, who was, I don't know if he was born here or born in a different country, but like he only played football for a couple of years, and now he's like their bona fide, like I think tackle or something.
Well, think about this.
Yeah,
this happened with even tight ends.
True.
Right?
True.
I mean, we talked about that happens with tight ends.
Yeah.
So who's to say the next best tight end couldn't be playing in European basketball right now?
It could have been Giannis Antetokounmpo for all we know. He just want to play basketball
Or
instead.
LeBron.
Yeah, true.
Now, it wouldn't have come from somewhere else other than the United States, but you get my point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it could happen. I just think it's unbelievable how big this is. Like, the Super Bowl, we might have a couple million less viewers this year because the Bengals are in it. Mm-hmm. But we know we're going to have like 50 million viewers in the United States.
Exactly.
Like, that's called saturation. Like,
it's
not going from 50 to 80 million. We're not getting there. We're not taking that jump. Like, the commercials have maxed out on how much you can charge. Like, I'm
just saying if Joe Burrow wins, that guy's about to be a global icon, bro.
Well, maybe.
Global
because it is the
icon.
one time where people around the world do watch.
Everyone's going to be rocking turtlenecks. You just wait.
and chains.
And chains.
Yeah, and those glasses.
Oh, don't be a hater.
Yeah,
Brent, don't be a hater now.
Okay.
Don't be talking about shades.
You guys call that swag.
That's what it is.
I'll show
Dripping.
Just call it like we see him.
I show you swag. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I don't want to get back. I got a couple questions for Austin. Players on the coaching staff, like former players, is that really important, or is it just coincidence that guys are getting in the profession? Let's talk about that when we come back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Temperatures turn milder today as we break out into plenty of sunshine. The afternoon high around 65. Still chilly tonight with a bit of light frost west of I-95, well inland, as temperatures drop into the 30s. Mostly sunny and nice tomorrow. Your Thursday high 67. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com. Smoke for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit WillieJewells.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia, Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoke for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenball. Weather here is unique. It could be bright and sunny one minute and then a downpour the next. That's why mornings are when you need us the most. So you can plan your day, no matter if you're getting ready to go to work or working from your living room, getting the kids ready for school or ready for lunchtime. I'm on TV explaining how weather is going to affect your day and night ahead, so you're prepared for anything. I'll get you ready on Action News Jax this morning.
The Players is proud to support the Jacksonville Police Athletic League.
which has been bridging the gap between law enforcement and our youth since 1972. It's 27 days until the players.
When you're managing a business, answering phone calls is just another thing to pile onto an already busy day. If you miss a call, you risk ignoring a client or a potential client who wants to hire you. Smith AI solves this problem by handling calls for you. We're an award-winning 24/7 virtual receptionist service. Our professionals answer calls and schedule appointments. We even make outbound sales calls. That's a must-have if you're trying to manage and grow your business. Visit smith.ai to read our 5-star reviews and use code GROW for $100 off.
Jerry and Larry's family auto shop needed a small business loan fast so they could hire more help. Jerry suggested OnDeck.com, but instead Larry called
Loan Cannon, launch the cash! Oh yeah!
Oh no. Oh, right in the fender.
Stop! Loan Cannon! Why?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. OnDeck, the online lender that makes it easy to apply in minutes and, if approved, get your loan as soon as the same day. With lines of credit up to $100,000 and term loans up to $250,000, OnDeck lets you choose the loan that's right for your business. As America's largest online small business lender, OnDeck has funded over $14 billion to businesses like yours so you can borrow with confidence and get your loan fast. Go to OnDeck.com. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Sometimes when you're just doing your job, most of us, as we're just doing our job, we're being interviewed for a job, you could say. So I don't know exactly when I became a candidate. I just know that, just like all of you, I know Nick interviewed, and McNair family interviewed a lot of different people. And for me, I was in the background giving advice, and after they looked at those people, they got to see me in just about every situation. I've done it before. That's all I know. Just knowing when I got the call, I was excited and knew that I could lead our program to that next level.
That Lovie Smith?
It is Lovie Smith.
Do you see?
Nicely done.
Do you see?
That's good.
You see the Casario was talking and like the alarm went off?
Yeah, they're talking about
on the Flores
stuff. Yeah.
Like, golly.
The optics,
they can make a movie out of Houston. Talking about movies, they can make a movie the last couple of years.
Is Houston back? Are they back to being the team now? That's the bad optics.
It does feel like it right now, doesn't it?
Okay.
Like, I mean, now they do have a killer beard.
No,
so that's good.
The beard's fantastic.
They got that going for them.
A great salt and pepper man if I've ever seen one. I mean, I guess the question is, can we finally wash our hands of the bad optics? Are we done with that? We done now?
I feel like, yeah. I think we're in second place at least.
Okay.
Shouldn't have said
and
because I say that now, and all of a sudden something crazy is going to happen. I can already see it.
Well, yeah, that could happen now. So now maybe we can get like Baselli in the Hall, and that will help.
Sure.
That'll build even more momentum out of the basement.
Any Houston Texans in the Hall of Fame?
Andre Johnson, did he make the finalists?
Not yet. Well, we're waiting to see, right?
Now you might be around to something there. I think they don't. I don't think they have one because they're relatively new as well.
Yeah, they're newer.
From the Houston stuff, the Tennessee.
Well, and there are Carolina Panthers in the Hall of Fame, I believe, right?
Well, Kevin Green played for them and Pittsburgh. I think they have
Peppers.
Is Peppers already in the Hall? So he might be. I think they have a couple.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
isn't Andre Johnson a finalist this year? Like, am I?
He might be. So he might be able to get in. So let's hope he doesn't.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, Andre. So then the Jags at least have the leg up.
No, for sure.
If Tony does.
Well, but see, that's the thing though. Like, I think if it's going to be the first Texan in, I think Andre Johnson's a fantastic representative, though.
Yeah.
Because
good dude, right?
The guy was all class.
Yeah. Listen, they have a lot of good guys in that organization over the years.
Houston?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Peppers is
I don't
not
like
in.
Houston, so.
I know. I don't either.
Yeah, I know.
What did you say? Who's not in?
Peppers.
He's not in?
He's not in.
Mm-mm.
When's he eligible?
He retired in 2018.
Did he just retire in 2018? Gosh, I don't feel like he's played
I think he might have been playing back in Carolina to end his career.
Yeah, he went back.
next year.
He went back, yeah.
So I think next year he's eligible.
Casey knows about it. Diehard Panther fan.
Yeah, diehard.
That's a good point.
Him and Jake Delhomme, the boys.
Yeah.
The boys.
Peppers will be in no problem.
Oh, yeah. First ballot for sure, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What did you say? Didn't he have like 180 sacks?
Something like that.
159 and a half.
Oh, 150. Well, still darn good.
Yeah.
Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz here on a Wednesday Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live at UNF Arena. The Ospreys play tonight against Bellarmine. By the way, the women played today at 11 o'clock. They already had a game, and they got a W, so good for them. And the Ospreys will also play here on Saturday as well. As we're getting down to it now. I started talking about brackets with some folks today. We're about a month out.
Yeah.
You know, from really less than a month from a lot of tournament basketball in the conference championships. And then we've got the NCAA March Madness tournament, which will be fantastic, and we'll get our brackets out and all that. So we're getting there. We got some fun stuff. We got Daytona. We got the players. We got March Madness. Some fun stuff on the horizon.
Well, and just a reminder, too, for everybody that's going to be filling our bracket this year, Murray has 2 R's in it. Not 1 R, 2 R's when you fill out your bracket.
No, Ty won't be filling them out.
Hey, well, and we'll see what Ty does then in terms of the overall lead.
Ty's locked into the hoops, man. He is watching every hoop game like possible.
Yeah.
And we've had some really – I wasn't locked in until about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, the last 3 weeks, I feel like we've had some unbelievable college basketball games. There's been some really good ones that have caught my attention, and that's a lot is
Jacksonville going to be hosting anytime soon? Another regional, whatever
That's a good question. I think the last time they hosted would have been – what year were we at? Was 2020 the year they hosted?
It might have been
we were out there. Well,
we were out there.
So maybe it was our first year.
Yeah.
So it would have been 19?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because then 2020 would have been March Madness didn't happen.
It got canceled,
yeah. Yeah. So 19. So 19.
Yeah.
It would have been the last, which makes me think probably in like a 6 to 8 year cycle.
Okay, a little ways away still.
Yeah.
That was fun, man. That was a good time.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Down there at the arena. It might be quicker than that. Sometimes it's back within 4 years, but
okay.
I don't know. I haven't looked at that calendar in a while. And I also don't know how much got thrown off because of losing the tournament. Did some of those host cities then get bumped to the next year?
Yeah.
I haven't followed it closely enough to know.
Brent, real quick, can you name the teams that were in?
Oh, my gosh.
The regional here in Jacksonville.
Well, Duke was.
Nope.
Duke wasn't here?
I don't think so.
Was that the previous? See, I've covered a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
You sure Duke wasn't?
Pretty positive. Yes.
Kentucky.
Kentucky was there.
It was Kentucky.
Tyler Hero
Duke
was there.
Here
Big Blue Nation was present. Yep.
Kentucky.
Smaller school was here.
Yeah, who put on a show? Somebody pulled an upset and put on a show. Who was the kid?
Can shoot some threes.
Oh, yeah, man. He was knocking them down. But what school was that? Was that Wolford?
Wolford, good call. Yep.
Yeah, that was the kid from Wolford, right?
Correct, yes.
And they won their first game.
I believe so, yeah. Or if not, it was like a nail biter towards the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they might have won the first one, almost won the second one. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know what? That's probably going to run out. At
LSU.
LSU was here.
And I think, was it Abilene Christian?
There
was one
the prior time we had, I think it was Georgia State.
Okay.
Remember when the whole celebration?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Dude. And Coach who had the scooter.
Yeah, his son hit the game winner. Yep.
That was that. I think that was in Jacksonville. So, I think I've been here long enough now to see us at least host it twice, if not 3 times.
Okay.
So, but you're right, Kentucky and Wolford.
Yeah. And LSU, and I can't remember the other team. There was one other team.
Well, there was 4. We've got 8 in the pot or just 4?
Oh, it might have been 8. I don't know, man.
I can't remember now.
Okay.
Put me on the spot.
Sorry about that, man. I put myself in the spot.
I like it.
I didn't look that up either.
The Jax coaching staff is coming together. There's a lot of reports. But you said something that's interesting. A lot of these guys have played. And, by the way, Doug Pederson included.
Yeah.
Played in the league and played in the quarterback spot. Mm-hmm. Is there value to that? Gerald Alexander just being in the league when you were in the league, if he ends up being on the staff. Other than the other guys that you mentioned, who was it? The special teams coordinator, who's coming from Buffalo. Is there value in that, or is that just a product of the business where you're going to sooner or later get enough guys that played that want to get into it? And if you look up every staff around the NFL, you're going to have 40% of them or 30% of them that are going to have played in the league. What's the value?
So, I mean, I'll say this. I never had a head coach that I didn't like in the NFL. I thought they all brought, something great to the table. But, my favorite would probably have to be Andy Reid. And, Andy Reid, I don't think, was a former NFL player. I mean, he was a Pop Warner stud.
He was a Pop Warner stud. I was going to say, I saw video.
Yeah.
That's that video.
Pop Warner stud. I don't think he ever made it to the league, but, that was my favorite coach. So I think it's like this. I think if you're a great coach, then you don't need the resume to say, well, I played in the league. But I also think where if you did play in the league, that does help things out. Because
Brenson Buckner's another one, by the way.
For sure. Because, I told a story, I think it was last week, about Clinton Hurt, who was a former player himself. Now, I think he had a couple tryouts in the NFL, played at Miami. The Hurricanes have had the couple runs, I think, national championships and everything. He was part of that. But, just being a former player at a pretty high level, playing at Miami, I could tell, that benefited him because he could relate to players better. He knew how to coach players better. And I think that can help teams out sometimes. So I'm not saying that it should be an essential part of your resume to say, well, I'm a former football player, I'd be a great coach. That doesn't always pan out like that. But I think in terms of if you're going around the hiring process and you have a guy who's a good coach, if he's a former player also, that's only going to help things out, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it can't hurt.
Yes.
And I really like the idea of it being somebody like a Gerald who's been around it more recently. I mean, sooner or later you can get a 60-year-old guy that played in the league way back. It might feel a little bit different. Bernie Parmalee is a part of this staff. I think there's some things floating around that he could stay on this staff, which would be a holdover. So there's another one potentially if that's the case. So we'll see. I don't mind it. I kind of like it. And a lot of people wanted Leftwich to get the head coaching job. In many parts, they wanted the Leftwich to get the head coaching job because he was a guy that was familiar with Jacksonville. He played in Jacksonville. Bigger than that, he played in the league. I like the Leftwich stuff because I think he knew what culture was important, right? He had been around Pittsburgh. He had been in Arizona. He'd been in Tampa under Arians. I think Pederson knows what a winning culture looks like in Philadelphia. He also has seen it go bad because he obviously wasn't a part of it, since 2020. But he also has been around a guy like Andy Reid who sees culture and sees what works. To me, that was the main value in having Leftwich that I saw was I think this guy's going to put together a great staff. I think people are going to want to see him do well, and they're going to rally around him, good leadership qualities, and I think culture. And then the football stuff would have to take care of itself after that. I don't know how that was going to work. He's a first-time guy, probably going to make mistakes. But Pederson actually is doing some of these things. It's really interesting how Pederson mirrors Leftwich with experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean,
isn't that really an interesting thing?
No, it's definitely the same thing. And I think you can make an argument, obviously, and I'm not sure in terms of age how much older Pederson's will be than
54, Leftwich is 42.
Oh, okay. So, talking about a decade, which can make a big difference in terms of how much the game has changed. No. But, heck, back when I played, it's completely different when it is now. So a decade can make a world of difference. But, no, I think that, especially I think at the quarterback position where – I think that's the reason why Josh McCown's at least getting looks by the Houston Texans because, no, he had zero coaching experience, but the guy's been around forever in terms of different locker rooms playing the most important position in all of sports. And I think if you're Doug Pederson and you sat behind some pretty great quarterbacks, you had your opportunity to shine as well as a starter. I mean, you've seen organizations and you've seen them as a player and you know what it takes, because the quarterback, we always talk about this. It's the ultimate double standard. It's there's the football team, then there's the football team and the quarterback. So much more is expected of you. So I think if you can have even a halfway decent career being a quarterback in the NFL, I think that's just going to correlate to having a pretty decent career as a head coach as well in the NFL, just because they kind of intertwine. They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, I the more I think about it, though, I love that idea. I love the idea of, first of all, I wanted Pederson because of experience, but I never really looked at Pederson as much as I started to dig up on Leftwich, and I never looked at him as kind of similar candidates. Yet I kind of feel like they're pretty similar candidates, other than experience. And the one thing that too, is okay, if Leftwich had gotten the job, would he have called plays? I would think yes.
I would assume so.
Okay, so let's just assume so. So then he would be doing all of that for the first time.
Sure.
Pederson has done that. He knows what it's like. He knows the good, the bad. I thought what was really interesting about Doug Pederson's news conference is he said, I'd like to call the plays, and sometimes as a play caller you get stuck and you hand it over. I've never heard somebody say that.
No,
is
for
it
sure.
Common?
Didn't he hand it over though his last year in Philly?
He might have.
I thought his last year he may have.
But he kind of made it seem like in the middle of a game in the third quarter, it's like, I ain't calling a good game here. Yeah. Hey, you go take it, Jim Bob Cooter.
Well, I mean, I remember because I remember like there was a little bit like Miles Sanders being frustrated because like he kept saying all they do is sweeps on the outside.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there's the whole Sanders
that started
thing.
to build, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if he actually forfeited the play calling or not. But
so, just interesting, even the knowledge of that, the awareness of that, the ability to say, hey, I got to get more input.
Yeah.
Right? Where Leftwich might not know that stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's going through it for the first time. He's balancing all this stuff. He doesn't know if he should be the CEO, the play caller. I got to take care of Trevor, all these things.
Yeah.
And, again, I think what this goes back to, it just kind of hit me over the last day or so as I'm listening and talking and about Pederson, is a lot of these same qualities. I thought Leftwich would build a hell of a staff. In fact, I thought he might have been the best candidate to build a hell of a staff. I also thought he might have been the best candidate from a culture standpoint. Well, right now we're looking at Pederson, who looks like he's building a pretty good staff. I think he's getting a lot of positive reviews. I also think he knows what culture is. Now, I get it that it was broken down at the end in Philly, and so there's a little bit of a red flag. But he also knows what a championship culture is. He led them there.
Yeah.
And he also was a part of Andy Reid where the tree is really good, and we have a lot of faith in that tree.
Yep.
That culture is good. So there's a lot of things to like from a comparative speaking standpoint. And then you just add the experience on top of it. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's all about, being able to purvey that message, being a former player yourself, and relating to the guys in that locker room. Like as fans, we have such preconceived notions of, all right, a great football coach is a guy that can, give you that rah-rah pep talk before the game. Yeah. It's not like that in the NFL, okay? You're dealing with a bunch of grown-ass men who can motivate themselves. But what separates you from an okay coach to a great coach is the ability to communicate and get your message across. I went down to, it's Mike McDaniel, right, in Miami?
Yeah.
I went down a giant Mike McDaniel rabbit hole last night because I was just curious what he brought to the table. And he got into the whole communication part. He's like, if you watch what the 49ers do on offense, it looks very complex, very complicated, a lot of motion, right, because there's just the playbook is massive. But they simplified things so much where he said it's one of the easier playbooks to learn just because of how they teach it. And that's the most important thing. Now, I think being a former player in Doug Pederson, like, you know how to learn if you're a backup quarterback or a starting quarterback in the league, and now it's on you to coach that. I mean, that's only going to be beneficial.
Yeah, that's a really good call.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. More Jags talk, including maybe an important signing that needs to take place even prematurely. That's going to come up football at 5. I got a question for Austin on that. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Mark your calendars for the end of February because Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall has something you won't want to miss. It all starts February 24th when Iron Mike Tyson will be in store for pictures and autographs. The very next day, Pete Rose, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on February 25th. The next day, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, will be in store at 1 p.m. on February 26th. Tickets for autographs and professional photo ops are available in-store or online at palmbeachautographs.com. Just click on the signings tab.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin. And if you know anything about me, you know that I stay busy and I stay active. Whether I'm talking on the radio or getting ready to fight somebody in a cage, I gotta be hydrated. I gotta be able to perform at my best. And that's why I'm glad to partner up with my friends at Body Armor. Hydration is an essential part of an active life. And for me, Body Armor Light is the perfect low-calorie sports drink. You're talking about a drink that's made from no artificial sweeteners, no sugar added, and plus it's got potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, vitamins, and coconut water. So it's going to help get you through a strenuous workout or help you recover when it's time to rest. It is literally the first thing I drink in the morning when I get up and the last thing I drink before I go to bed at night. So whether you're working a 9 to 5, you're trying to be a pro MMA fighter, or you're trying to make a healthy change, it's time to start letting your sports drink work for you and not the other way around. Because there's water, there's sports drinks, and then there's Body Armor. So take your hydration seriously and check out Body Armor in stores today.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewels.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Do you have taxiety, that uncertain feeling before doing your taxes? Filing on your own or choosing the wrong partner can be stressful. Connect with Liberty Tax and then just breathe in and cash out.
Get $50 by filing before February 20th.
Go ahead, feel it.
Visit StopTaxiety.com to schedule your appointment and say farewell to the stress of tax season. Liberty Tax. Let's end taxiety. At participating locations, terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hola, Carla speaking.
Carla's roofing company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Mira, Jose, can you work Wednesday?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Time is running out on your chance to enter the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares sweepstakes. The largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever is back with millions of dollars in prizes on the table. And best of all, it's free to enter. Here's the play-by-play. Every time the score changes during Super Bowl 56, somebody's going to win $50,000. That means touchdowns, field goals, extra points, safeties, even a 2-point conversion is a winner. 50 G's. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. Don't miss your chance to win. Get in the game today. See rules and enter for free right now at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 56.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 11/11/22. Equal housing lender licensed all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entity is not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's going to be a fun game, exciting game. We know the crowd's going to be into it, but that's what basketball's about. Like going in there, getting a win on the road. But obviously, it's going to be great memories after Game 5. The way we felt before the game, the way we felt after the game, the way we felt during the game. At the end, it was great memories. But at the end of the day, we got to do our job. Now we got to live in the moment, try try to go there and finish this road trip strong.
I don't have any guesses.
Austin?
Is that hockey or basketball? Because I missed the first
Giannis?
part.
Yep.
Was it Giannis?
Let's go, Casey. Man, I'm playing today.
Almost did.
Man, I'm putting the team on my back today.
Like, are we going NBA here?
Call me Giannis.
It's on the golf thing.
Call me Giannis today. Jams, man.
I was looking for the sound
down the lane.
that I heard earlier today on Bart and Hahn where they asked him, can you compete with the Bucks? And he said no.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Some primetime game that was last night. Giannis just comes to town shooting 80% from field goal. Come on now.
That's just but like that part is that was a good response. Did you hear the context he said? He's like, if you came out of the bubble and asked anybody if they could compete with or on their level or get to their level right now, people would say no because they're the best team. And so he was talking like in the now, which I thought was a pretty honest answer. Like everybody else would be like, oh, yeah, of course we can. We just got to keep playing. It's like, no, we're not on their level.
But, I mean, after that game, though, like you can't honestly, if you're LeBron, say, oh, yeah, I mean, we just had an – no, I mean, you got mollywopped.
Yeah.
You got curb stomped.
Yeah.
You almost lost by 30.
That
was like 20-something.
The Bucks are playing well still.
Yeah.
Which is good for you. All right, let's go quicker. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. We got football at 5 coming up. I got a big question about the roster build of the Jags, and I think it should start somewhere. I was talking to someone last night. It kind of registered in my mind. I was like, I'm going to bring this up on the show. And before we do that, what is it? I'm not good at this stuff. The Oscars are out, the nominees. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Oscar nominees are out.
That's like the best movie and stuff?
Best picture.
Best picture.
Best
Is that
actor,
what?
supporting
No
actor,
Country
actress.
for Old Men. Is that what that won?
Yep.
Okay, so like when you said like I can't believe you've never heard of this, like that won Best Picture.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay.
It
like
wasn't
nobody ever
independent-
hears of these movies that have.
You heard of some.
Very few.
Okay.
Like,
I mean,
so
you
I
heard of
want to
some.
know: have we heard of any of the movies that are up for Best Picture this year? That's all I want to know.
Okay, Casey, do you have the list? Do you want me to bring up the list real quick?
I got it.
All right. Go ahead, man. Because I was trying to look up like the past winners of like Best Picture of the year to see how many we've actually heard of.
Like the over/under for me hearing of any of these movies is a half.
Okay, a half.
All right, half.
West Side
I'll be
Story.
honest.
Come on.
I actually that's up. Bingo, I win.
There you go.
That was fun. Should I bring the music? Are we done?
No. What else?
King Richard.
No.
You know what that one's about? We just talked about her today.
Talked about her?
Yes.
Like on the show or in break?
On the show today. It's what we pretty much opened with. It's about Serena Williams and Venus Williams' dad.
Ah. That's up
starring
for
Will Smith.
That's up for
Is that
Best
shocking?
Picture?
Yeah.
Wow.
that
Doesn't
cool?
seem like the kind of movie that I would think would be.
You haven't seen it.
I know.
So what do you think? You don't even know what it's about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yep.
We got Dune.
Dune, like D-O-O-N or D-U-N-E?
D-U-N-E.
I can't do this. D-U-N-E.
Like dunes, like beach
like
dunes?
like the book. Yeah, like the book. You know, like
There's a book called Dune.
Brand, I can't do this with you. So like before Star Wars, there was Dune. Dune was like the ultimate sci-fi book.
Oh.
And they made it into a movie before, and now they did it right this time.
Casey, did you know that?
I did, yeah.
You're lying. You hesitated.
No, I thought there was an animal out in the hallway, but it turns out the geese are fighting outside and they're super loud. So I was trying to listen.
Are the ducks okay? Because there's ducks laying eggs by the walkway. Yeah,
I know it.
Unconfirmed.
All right, so Dune. Okay.
We got Don't Look Up.
Okay.
We got
looking up.
We got Nightmare Alley.
Bradley Cooper. I haven't seen that one. That's
Bradley Cooper, probably pretty good.
Guillermo del Toro, who's a really great director.
We got Drive My Car.
That one I got wrong. So we on the morning show we did predictions of what's this movie about.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it.
What do you think that was about?
I thought it was about a car that like goes through decades and different owners have it, and then they tell a story through the car about the different owners.
Interesting.
Which would be a pretty cool movie.
That would be kind of cool.
No, I guess it's about like divorce and cheating.
Oh,
seriously.
Oh, any other one?
Yeah, we got a couple more. We got Belfast. We got The Power of the Dog. We got Coda,
yep.
and we got Oh, licorice pizza. I had no idea that's how you spelled that.
How many nominees are there? It's
10,
like if you made a movie, you're up for nominee Best Picture.
Hey, there's 10. There's a lot of movies that got released this year.
If you could tell me to watch one movie, what would it be?
I've only seen one of those, and it was
I
Dune.
know, but
Licorice
know what
Pizza.
some of them are about.
I don't know, man.
What'd you say, Casey?
Licorice pizza.
See, I heard that movie wasn't.
Have you seen it?
No, but it intrigues me.
Okay.
I would
like
probably
pizza.
watch Nightmare Alley because I like good Del Toro.
All right.
Guillermo del Toro. By the way, Brent, in case of the past Oscar winners, Braveheart, you seen that?
Yeah.
Titanic?
Yes.
American Beauty?
Yes.
Gladiator?
Yes.
A Beautiful Mind?
Yes.
Lord of the Rings?
No.
Crash?
No.
$1 Million Baby?
Parts. I know it's about. It's a good movie, but I haven't seen all of it.
The Departed. You've seen that one.
Yes, I have seen Departed.
The Hurt Locker. Good one.
No, I wanted to see that too.
But see, you've seen some of these.
Yeah, I have.
Argo?
No.
Okay. All right.
Hurt Locker on that. I'd like to see that. I remember I wrote that down like I wanted to see
it's
it.
It's intense.
Is it?
Man.
All right,
Man.
I'm going to look that one up.
Yep.
Now that there is blood. Old Country for no, whatever it is called that I saw.
There will be blood, but yeah,
there will be blood.
There is blood.
There we go. Football at 5. I know the name of that. Coming up, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
At Morgan & Morgan, the fee is free. You don't pay us anything unless we win your case.
If you've been injured on the job and are not receiving the benefits you're entitled to, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead. So make every mile this new year the best it can be in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota's got 500 new Toyotas available and ready for wherever you want to go in 2022. Plus, every new car purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty and Arlington's 30-day exchange program. Where will your new Toyota take you in 2022? Find out and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't Safe Touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what Safe Touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And Safe Touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the Safe Touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the Safe Touch surveillance system with 3 color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the 2-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala is back. Thursday, March 3rd, join Coach Coughlin on the scenic downtown riverfront for culinary delights from 35 of Jacksonville's best restaurants and hundreds of the world's most renowned wines. Go to tcjfund.org/wine.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Nick, were the Texans planning to hire Josh McCown? And the second part of that is, will Josh McCown be on Lovey's staff?
Yeah, there were never plans to hire anybody until we arrived at kind of an endpoint. And I'd say as it pertains to staffing, Lovey and I will have discussions on that. Lovey will have a lot of input. There'll be a number of other coaches that will have input. So the next step for us really after today is to kind of continue to build out the staff. And I'd say we're making some progress on that. What that final constitution looks like at the end, you know, I'm sure it'll be some moving parts here as we go.
I mean, what just a better cherry on top than the fire alarm going off when you're talking about the organization right now that is the Houston Texans.
Pretty incredible experience.
Very incredible. Now, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I think Lovie Smith's a fantastic coach. I think one of the bigger surprises this year in the NFL was, you know, the Houston Texans defense and how they're able to create turnovers. Like, I'm not sure where they finished in the league, but I remember like halfway through the season, Casey, we were talking about just how many turnovers they had.
Yeah, they had a ton.
And I'll be honest, I can't name a lot of Houston Texans players, and they're in the Jaguars division. I can't even name them. So, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with Lovie Smith. So, I'm not mad that Lovie Smith got another opportunity. I think he's a great coach. I think he, was probably wrongfully fired in Chicago. Goes to the University of Illinois, doesn't really have a lot of success there, and then comes back in the league and obviously has success as a defensive coordinator in Houston. So, I'm not mad that it's Lovie Smith. But much like the whole Pederson thing kind of played out, I'm just mad at the process that Houston took. And one could argue that their process was even worse than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now we'll see what the whole Trent Baalke thing and the EVP and all that stuff works out. That remains to be seen. But Houston, in terms of Deshaun Watson, and in terms of some other optics as well, I mean, they kind of got a black eye right now, I feel like, in the NFL. And they got to overcome some things.
Football at 5 here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I got locked out of the gymnasium. Just ran outside.
Oh, yeah?
Whew.
You all right?
Yeah. Out of breath.
How'd you get back in?
I mean, eventually I had to go around 7 different doors. I'll tell you what.
Hey, you could have called me or something.
You are not getting in to UNF Arena for free.
I like that.
Just letting you know.
Good.
Hopefully have your tickets.
There ain't no freebies here.
No way.
Bird nest.
Not if you're going to be a part of this show.
Yeah, I like it.
Watch it live and in person. We're at the UNF Arena, campus of the University of North Florida. The Ospreys play Bellarmine tonight, 7 o'clock. I'll have the call on ESPN. Plus, Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Football at 5. We've got our golf picks coming up. Got a special surprise for you guys when the Butcher returns for the golf picks.
Hey, you can't call yourself the Butcher, though.
I know, but, I am.
But the Butcher was made because my guy made all the cuts.
I know.
Not because you're winning.
I know. Well, maybe we'll have to get a new nickname for me, but you can't be the Butcher.
Oh, no, I'm the Butcher because my guy's still making cuts.
Are they?
I don't know. They're not winning, but they're making cuts.
Your guy had a heck of a roller coaster ride this past week.
Hey, I forgot who I haven't picked. I have Schwab?
You had Matthias Schwab.
How'd he do?
And he was not really good in round 1, and then he shoots a 62 in round 2. And he
saw that.
Up to the top 5. I texted
really?
Casey. I was like, all 3 of our guys were in the top 8.
Oh, I didn't
going into the weekend.
Okay.
And then he started stumbling a little bit.
So did he make the final round?
Yes.
Yeah. So then he made all his cuts. So call me the Butcher.
All right. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I've got a question for you. As the Jags build the roster, and look forward, and they're building their staff right now, and obviously that's the news of the day. But I was talking to someone about how the Jags do business and what they need to do going forward, and do they need to change things. Jags are going to have a lot of money to spend, so free agency. Do you want them to spend the money? I'm kind of like, you know what, you got to go get good players in. So if that means winning right now, getting a couple blockbuster blue-chip guys, you can't wait around and see in the draft if you're going to get blue-chip guys. You don't have a lot of guys to pay with your own money that you have. Like, who are you going to give money to? Some people will say Cam Robinson. It's like, I don't know. Do you need to? I mean, you could pick a left tackle for cheaper with number 1 overall pick, or you've got a guy you drafted 2nd overall that, in limited action played pretty well in Walker Little. Why go pay $70 million for a left tackle when you got one on your roster, or you could draft one for a lot cheaper? So how much money do you want the Jags to spend? If from a philosophical standpoint, yeah, you got to draft well. We know that. The Jags have to do a better job of that. They haven't done it. That's a given. You do that every year. You hopefully, in my view, the Jags had to make 5 to 8 good decisions. You got to hire the right coach. He's got to hire the right staff. You got to build the front office around him. Then after that, I think you got to get 2 good free agents at the very least. You have to make 2 good decisions because the reality is it's a 50-50 proposition most years. That you're not going to usually hit on all of them. And so you have to get 2 difference makers on the free agent market.
That's what the Bengals are able to do.
Exactly. And the Jags, when they did have success in 2017, were able to do that swimmingly. And then if you want to do it, and then the next part of that is make 3 good calls in the draft. Yes. 3 impact players. Go get 3 guys that are going to be a part of this thing for a long time to come. So that's the way I view it. Started with Pederson, next with the staff, the front office. There's 3 decisions. Now you have 4 and 5 in free agency, and you have 6, 7, 8 in the draft. Make 8 good decisions somewhere over the next few months, and you can flip this thing here in Jacksonville and start heading in a positive direction. How much are you spending? Where's your philosophy? Well, do you go after it in free agency, or do you just go try to get middle-of-the-road guys that you do really well with?
No, I think you have to go after in free agency, but then let me ask you this question. You mentioned you have to find the good coach, then you have to find the good staff, then you have to find the front office. So let's assume that that's all going to take care of itself. That's all going to write itself.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
No,
right?
We don't, but I'm saying for the sake of the argument, let's just assume that's going to happen. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Well, let's go to phase number 4, whatever it was, where you find your free agents. You try to find 2 or 3 guys that can come in and contribute to the team. Let me ask you this question. What positions do you want to see filled by free agents?
Well, right now, given the lack of outside help for Trevor, I want wide receiver.
A wide receiver,
and
okay.
I think there's 2 ways to look at it because I don't know how they look at the draft. If you think the draft has some big guys in the middle on defense, then I'm willing to say, okay, let's go draft some.
Okay.
But I think that's a hard thing to do. You only get 1 pick in the first 32, right? Those big guys, those good guys usually come there. So I would say, can we go find a defensive tackle, somebody in the middle that's going to be a difference maker to help that side of the ball as well? I would actually throw 1 more in here, but I wouldn't call this a blockbuster move. That's the tight end, because there's plenty of them out there. But that's going to be a little more of a risky move. If you go find a middle linebacker, that's going to be more of the risky move. You hope it hits. I don't think they're spending huge dollars. If you want huge dollar positions, let's go defensive tackle and wide receiver to start.
Okay. So those are 2?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I would lean towards definitely wide receiver. I would definitely go tight end just because they're available. One could wonder, is Zach Ertz available because of Doug Pederson? There's a connection there. You never know. And then I lean towards defensive tackle. Now, it all kind of depends how the draft shakes out, obviously, where you rank Neal, where you rank Thibodeau, where you rank Hutchinson. But the way I see it playing out is, okay, let's say you draft an edge rusher at the top spot. You don't trade down just for the sake of argument. You draft an edge rusher. Okay, so that's taken care of then. So I think you have to address the interior, and you want a guy that can come in right away and be a difference maker. So definitely defensive tackle, definitely wide receiver, and throw a tight end there as well.
Yeah.
So then if you're asking me how much do I want them to spend, I mean, if we're talking about a defensive tackle, if we're talking about the toast of the free agent class of defensive tackle, it's probably going to cost you a little bit. I think wide receiver, whether, we can go Godwin, we can go Gallup, Devontae Adams, don't even tease me with it, but that's probably going to cost you a little something as well. And then we talk about the tight ends, where it is a big market, it seems like. You can probably get a discount there, depending who the tight end is, if he's like the 2nd best or 3rd best in the class. So, yeah, I think you're going to have to spend a little bit of money, but to me it's money well spent because, number 1, you're bolstering your offense, the tight end and a wide receiver, and then we'll see how offensive line shakes out with Walker Little or Cam Robinson, whoever that decides to be. And then you're also helping your defense out in a big way. We're not sure what the scheme is going to look like quite yet because we don't have the final answer, but you do need more interior.
I want to spend a little more time maybe tomorrow talking about the offensive line because I want to get to that. I think it's been a bit of a topic, and I still don't know if I agree with everybody on some of the thinking on the offensive line. So we'll get to that tomorrow. I don't want to get into the weeds on it. I want to continue on this conversation. I agree with you. I think they need to spend. Again, this person I was talking to yesterday was like, man, you got to draft. You got to draft. Who are you going to pay? When you pay, you miss. You swing and miss. Well, you know what? You also have money. Like, you have money. So if you got money, go get good players. Like, look what the Rams have done. All right? I mean, I'm not telling you you're going to go do that, and that's going to be your methodology from here on out, right? Yeah. That's going to be your philosophy. But you can do it a little bit. And when you're lacking this many good players, and potential blue chip players, you got to take that chance. I mean, to me, there's no difference in free agency or the draft from taking a chance. Like, your eyes tell you one thing, and you hope you're right. Mm-hmm. Now, the difference is you spend draft capital, which is very low cost in terms of economics and dollars, or you spend big bucks in free agency. Well, if you craft pretty good deals, then it's only going to hurt you for a couple of years. The bottom line is who you draft in the first, second round. If you miss, like this organization has, you're still sticking with them for 3 or 4 years too, and you missed. If you miss, you miss.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem spending the money if you got it. And I think the Jags, it's time to go spend the money, get Trevor help, get the defense help, make you at least a – what can you build me to make a 500 team and keep me in every game and give me a chance in every game? And in early December, still be in the mix, even if you're 2 games back of a wild card spot. But I could say, if this happens, the Jags could get in. Yeah. That's where I'm at with the Jags organization. I'm not asking in 2022 to go win the Super Bowl and be the Bengals. I'm not asking to go even win the division. I'm asking to be competitive, get out of the basement, just start flipping this thing, and then we can talk more about those moves down the road. But I do think spending your money helps you get out of the basement. I think if you have a veteran team with good players and more good players because you spent some dollars, that's going to help your football team be better across the board.
Well, and here's the interesting thing, too, about spending money and where you want to spend that money on. You know, like, to me, the way I look at the draft and the way I look at free agency is what positions do you need to come in right now and be a difference maker, and then what positions in the draft can you draft and be like, okay, even if you're not going to be a perennial Pro Bowler your first year, that's okay. Maybe in year 2, year 3, you can be up to that caliber, and then we're going to win with that. And it kind of begs the question. I mean, I get it. You know, it's a lot of the narrative right now is Hutchinson, is Thibodeau. But who's to say, like, what happens if Chandler Jones wants to come to Jacksonville? You know, what happens if you can get a guy like, I mean, Von Miller, probably not, but like Von Miller because he's going to be a free agent. Or, I mean, Clowney's kind of Randy Gregory. I don't know. What happens if you can shore up one of those guys? Well, then now if you're paying for that guy in free agency and you have Josh Allen on the other side, and I get it. You can't have too many pass rushers, don't get me wrong. But let's keep in mind who we're talking about here. We're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? I mean, they need a lot more than just addressing the pass rush situation. So I wonder, like, depending how free agency plays out, and let's say for whatever reason they do get Chandler Jones, well, then to me, all of a sudden Thibodeau, now all of a sudden Hutchinson might be off the table. And now instead of saying, okay, well, let's look at maybe wide receiver trading down, well, maybe you have Evan Neal there now. You know, I mean,
yeah.
So to me, like, free agency is going to be a big part of it in terms of how the draft's going to shake out.
And that's often the case. So how do they evaluate the draft at certain positions, and what do they feel like they can go get? And I think they try to bridge themselves, too, and protect themselves so they don't put themselves in a corner and need, like, oh, we have to go get a wide receiver at 33 because we just don't have enough. You know, they got to try to avoid that situation. I think most good GMs and most good front offices do that. We'll see if this one does. Okay, here's why I wanted this conversation. So I'm talking about this last night, and I'm like, you know what? Would you say the Jags need to extend Josh Allen now?
I mean, yeah, I think you can get him at a discount right now, yeah.
But I would say most people would say you don't have to right now, right? He's going into year 4.
Well, I guess it depends. Do you see him here in the foreseeable future? I do. Like, I think he's one of the guys that you need here to be one of those bridge guys that we've talked about in the past. You know, like the Calais Campbell types that you are Darryl Smith when you let him go. So I would say, yeah, I think you do need Josh Allen.
Yeah. So here's what I'm getting at. I learned from our conversations. I learned from other conversations. I learned from Jalen Ramsey and Yannick Ngakoue. Okay. And I say, what you always tell me is not how much the money is, but what the money says.
Correct.
Okay? So I would say a guy like Josh Allen, who's a talented kid, who's a talented player. We don't know how good. That's fair to say. All right? I mean, he's had one really good year. Mm-hmm. That was his rookie year when he was with Jan and with Calais. We saw him really stand out against Josh Allen and the Bills. He's that type of player that can have those games, but he did fade down the stretch of the year. Let's be honest. Like, I can't tell you that he earned the opportunity to be like, hey, I'm going into the front office, give me my money. I can't say that. But what would it say for this organization to tell a guy that is talented, that has done it, that has made the Pro Bowl, that, by the way, wants to be here and fix this thing instead of ask for his walking papers to go somewhere else where it's easier?
Yeah.
He wants to be a part of it. What would it say to extend a guy like that? And, by the way, you're right. You probably get a little bit of a discount. And I would also say, learning from the Jan situation, I think one of the things that Jan wanted was give me a shorter deal because then I can hit again when I'm 28 years old and still in my prime.
Yeah.
Well, Josh Allen's 24 years old. He'll be 25 on July 13th. So if you give him like a 3-4 year deal, you can do it again when he's 28, 29 years old. And now he's 3 contracts in. Calais did that. Guy like Chandler Jones has done that. Like you can do that at that position because you can still play really good football at 32, 33, 34 years old. And so if I'm the Jaguars with the money I have right now, I think I'm locking a guy like that up to show the locker room to. What does it say? Show the franchise. This is one of our guys. We need cornerstones. Trevor's certainly that. Josh Allen's certainly that. And I think that could go a long way kind of flipping the feel inside.
Yeah.
Because one thing, here's what happens, Austin. You know what players hate? Players hate when you bring in the free agent and you spend all that money and he hasn't done anything or he doesn't do anything. Like there's reason to believe that's what Jalen Ramsey was all mad about. Like you're bringing in a guy like A.J. Boye, and you're paying him all this money. He did it for like 1 year. Look what I've been doing. I'm an all-pro. I'm a Pro Bowl guy, and you won't pay me early? I know you don't have to pay me, but you won't pay me early, but you'll pay that guy, and that guy across from me is making $20 million, and I'm making like $2 million, and I've done my job better, and I'm playing the best guy. So, like, what does it say, right? You always say, what does the money say? I think in a Josh Allen situation for this franchise where it's at right now, the money could say a lot of things.
I agree with you. To me, though, here's the problem I think that could come up if you do decide to pay Josh Allen early. You should have paid Jalen Ramsey early because you knew what Jalen Ramsey was. He was the best corner in the league, or at least a top 3 corner in the league, no ands, ifs, buts about it. So you pay him as such because you know what you're getting. I think if the Jaguars were to offer Josh Allen this offseason, they would make the mistake and say, we're going to pay you for what you've done and not pay you for what you could be worth. And if I'm Josh Allen's people, and listen, I don't know how Josh Allen thinks. Maybe he would sign the contract without even hesitation. But I would like to think that Josh Allen would say, oh, so you're going to lowball me here for what I've done maybe last year, the year before that. But what you're not going to do is like pay me for what I could be worth. And that's the case where Josh Allen tries to bet on himself. And let's say he has 12, 13, 14 sacks this season. When all the price tag goes up a little bit. So I think that if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars and I want Josh Allen to stay, which I would want, I would want to build a team with him going forward. I might have to overpay just a little bit.
And that's fine. I'm fine with that. By the way, like if I'm the Jags, I'm fine with that, but I'm telling them that up front. Listen, we could probably try to lowball you here. You didn't live up. Your numbers don't say, hey, this guy deserves $20 million a year. So we're not going to do that. But we want to pay you because we know you want to be a part of it. We want you a part of it. We think you're going to do this, this, and this. We think it's worth risking it. Now, we're not going to pay you $20 million, but we might pay you $17 where the market says it's $14. And I don't know where that is. I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there. But that's my point. It's like it's okay in this situation because you want him to carry that weight. You think he can handle that weight. Yeah. You know what it says when he goes back to the locker room and is like, hey, man, listen, these guys are going to take care of you. Like, these guys took care of me. Like, they could have lowballed me. They didn't. Like, so I think you're right. I think you got to be careful of that. But at the same time, the Jags could be getting a deal. They're risking that. Like, they're risking where they could get a little bit of a break because they're doing it early. They did that potentially with Miles Jack, right? Now, I don't know if they're winning that Miles Jack or not. I mean, that's because he had one really good year and one ass. So I don't know, he's just a guy right now. Correct. But if he has a huge year this year, then they're still only paying him $10 million, not $14 million. Then maybe they won the deal.
But I also think that when they paid Miles Jack that money, like they paid him what he could be. I mean, I don't know, like, because it was an early, they signed him early. So, like, that's a classic example right there of a franchise that said, okay, yeah, you've had some pretty good years so far, but we think you could be even better. So here's the money that's going to reflect that, and they added inflation.
And that's my
it.
point with Josh.
That's what you got to do with Josh Allen. Where you once again, and I get it. I don't know how much it would be. I really don't even know what the market would dictate right now. But you're going to have to overpay a little bit, I think, out of good faith.
I think that's right, but wouldn't that be a little bit? They did it with Miles a bit, but wouldn't that be a flip of the organization that's waited too long to reward their guys, or not done it soon enough, or has tried to lowball the Jan situation? So get ahead of it. Yeah. And again, you're not going to do that with every guy, okay? But Josh is a guy that is as good as there is from an ambassador of this organization that has gone through some terrible couple of years. Like 2 of the years that he's been here, and he still wants to be a part of it. Like, I think that's worth something. No. I think it's worth being the Pied Piper in that essence. You know, he'll go recruit guys here.
No, for sure. At the end of the day, if you got to overpay him, I don't know, $2 million, maybe even $3 million a year, then bite that bullet.
Yeah.
I think the story, the stuff he's built up in the locker room with the city, that's worth the extra $2 to $3 million a year.
And what I would do if I was the organization, I'd be like, listen, we're going to make this a shorter deal. That gives us a little protection, but it also gives you the chance to go get the big bucks. Yeah. So you're not locked in at this rate. You know what? You go have 30 sacks over the next 3 years, or over the next have 35 sacks over the next 3 years. Well, now you're breaking the bank for a 5-year, $120 million deal, and you're 28 years old.
Sure, but you got to be careful because it could be with a different team then in that case.
Well, it could be. You do.
So you got to be careful what the contract looks like in terms of how many years.
Yeah, but at least you built up some equity with it. And now you're putting it on the planner that I hope this guy does have 35 sacks, 40 sacks over 3 years, and we're going to ink him to the biggest deal in Jags history.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Probably right around the time they ink Trevor Lawrence to the same. Hopefully.
For sure, that'd be nice.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Football at 5 rolls on from UNF Arena.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A chilly night tonight. Grab your sweaters and jackets under clear skies. We drop to the 30s by morning. And near and west of Interstate 95, a little bit of light frost. But a nice Thursday with plenty of sunshine, afternoon highs in the mid to upper 60s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
These days, answering your phone can feel like a game of roulette. It could be an important call or just another spam call or wrong number. When you're trying to grow your business, you can't afford to risk missing a call from a new client, but your time is precious and can't be wasted on junk calls. Smith AI is the receptionist service every business owner needs. Our award-winning 24/7 virtual receptionists will answer your calls and schedule appointments. We'll even make outbound sales calls for you. Visit smith.ai to read our 5-star reviews and use code CALL for $100 off.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's family feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
For a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It's that time of year when folks everywhere scratch their heads and wonder, what can I get my love for Valentine's Day? You know what your darling really wants from you to make them feel special? Finally updating the chipped and faded paint on your house. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that's a superior alternative to paint and vinyl siding.
Rhino Shield is perfect for stucco, brick, vinyl, coquina exteriors, and it's the ideal solution for any residential or commercial buildings.
It comes with a 25-year warranty,
so you'll never have to paint again.
Hurry, book now and take advantage of our special Valentine's Day sale and save up to 25%, but you'll have to call today.
Visit us at rhinoshieldjax.com or call 904-519-5055.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. If you are a man over 40, listen up, because this could impact how much you're getting done during the day and at night. The harsh reality is, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. Here's the good news. Nugenix, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, has changed the game again for men over 40 with Nugenix Total T, their most powerful man-boosting formula ever, and guys all over America are raving about it. Jeremy P. says, this is the best product I found to raise T levels. I plan on using the product for the rest of my life. And how about Shane D? He says, I had no drive and was tanked out at the end of the day. After 3 months, my energy level is through the roof. I work out like most 19-year-olds. I am 47. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle. Just text ALL to 42424. It's the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting ALL to 42424. That's ALL to 42424. Text ALL to 42424.
These products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If somebody was to call him, it'd be maybe week 5, 6, I don't know. At some point, they're going to hit him up, and it's going to be up to Tom. And if he feels like, hey, I still got something in the tank, and I still want to prove somebody something wrong, prove some people wrong, he might do it. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. But at this point, I think he's going to enjoy this moment. He might put that out there a little bit, maybe associated with a Brady brand hoodie or something, and keep people talking.
I don't know who that is either. I'm missing out on the ESPN analysts today.
Rob Ninkovich.
By the way, I think this is the most ridiculous topic of the week.
Okay.
I don't think Brady's coming back. I think he's done. I don't think there's a chance he comes back.
I don't know, man. Maybe he spends 3 weeks at Disney with his family. He's like, I can't do any more of this. He wants to go play football.
Listen,
again.
I spent plenty of time with my family. I understand it. But going to a different team midway through the year, they talked, Phillip Rivers could have done it too, and he actually got the call.
Yeah.
And said no.
But Phillip Rivers isn't the GOAT.
Yeah, it's just I just don't see it. I think maybe it's just fun to speculate. I don't think there's a chance it's happening.
You're not going to say like a 10% chance, not even a 2% chance? Nothing.
Not in my mind. I mean,
Wow.
of course it exists, right?
Yeah.
Because he said, don't ever say never, but.
Well, you should definitely put it on Twitter. So then when
I'm
he
doing
comes
it
back,
right now.
Okay, so when he comes back, then we can go ahead and take in those cold takes there.
Yeah,
ice cold takes.
Yeah, in the middle of the season, I just don't, because that's what everybody's given. They're like, okay, there's 10 games to go. Would he come back? I just don't see. I think he knows better than that. I don't think his competitive juices would be there by then. I mean, I think he's playing golf and he's fishing and he's doing all those things. So
yeah.
I've seen this topic come up for days now because of what he said on his podcast, never say never.
Okay.
And I just don't buy it for a minute. I really don't. I just don't think. There's no part of me that believes Tom Brady will come back. I think he's completely done.
Okay.
And I think he liked the way he exited. You know what, by the way?
Losing?
No, I'm just saying, he didn't need the victory lap, all that stuff. I think that's the way he wanted to do it. And, I think it's worse when you come back and then do it again.
But you got to think about this,
We need
though.
some cleanliness to his retirement in his career, okay?
But how often do you retire and you still go out on top as, some of the best stats in the league that year?
That's fair.
Look at Tom
But
Brady's
isn't that
numbers
a great
this
part
past
of his
season.
story? We could always wonder.
Yeah, but he's going to always wonder.
I don't.
Like, I mean,
he's been doing it for 22 years.
Yeah,
what else
Brett,
does he have to do?
Doesn't matter, man. He was still one of the best quarterbacks in the league last year. Like, look at the numbers. Like, you know that's going to eat at him, saying, like, wow, I mean, I can still do this thing even at my age?
Yeah, I think
it's
Tom
not like
Brady
Drew
at
Brees.
55 will still feel like he can do it.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, like Drew Brees, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he had no choice. Dude, your last game was, you know?
Yeah.
Tom Brady, your last game, like, yeah, you didn't win it, but, like, dude, your entire season, you were, like, a top 3 quarterback in the league.
Yeah. Captain Rick Riles, when he was a young whippersnapper, probably didn't think he'd still be fishing to this expertise even now. But here he is. Like, he's still at the top of his game. Joining us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Captain Rick, what's up?
No, I actually do know better, Brent. In my days as a charter boat captain, I ran 59 days in a row. That's not on the table anymore.
59 days in a row. Wow.
Did I hear? I heard a rumor that Jim Bob Cooter may be coming to Jacksonville.
Yes, you did. You like that?
That's the greatest news ever. I don't care. I don't care what goes right for the Jaguars from now on out. It's because we have Jim Bob Cooter. I'm telling you that. What a perfect Jacksonville name. Who says we're a redneck city? Our coordinator is Jim Bob Cooter. I love it, love it, love it. Well, we finally got a window coming up starting tomorrow of some really nice weather, and I have no doubt that the blue water fish are ready to cooperate. Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. Inshore, it's all been reds and trout, not a lot of them, but a decent number. Robert Johnson had a half a dozen reds today, 4 flounder, and 1 really nice trout. So there are fish to be caught inshore. The water is very clear, so if the guys can catch a low tide, probably late in the afternoon when the sun's warmed it up quite a bit. We've got low tides early in the morning and late in the afternoon. My guess for tomorrow would be late in the afternoon. But then Friday and Saturday are going to be downright gorgeous before we have our next cold front, which is going to come rolling in on Sunday. So plan for the next few days. Don't miss it. We don't get many opportunities of calm weather this time of year. And one thing you can count on, we will be back tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing and CSS Landscaping. Thank you, boys.
Thanks, Captain Rick. Appreciate it. We'll see you again tomorrow. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. And then 7 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, for a couple hours, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report on ESPN 690. I'm going to hold off on the golf picks until the next segment, okay? Because I got this question on the heels of what Captain Rick was just saying. I was thinking of it anyway. He actually jogged my memory a little bit when he mentioned Jim Bob Cooter.
Yep.
And so, from a Jacksonville perspective, a lot of people are saying it, right? Jim Bob Cooter, nice fit. Okay? We've had some good Jacksonville fits.
Okay.
Recently.
Yeah.
Like Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
Was a great fit.
Brad Meester was a great fit.
Brad Meester was a great fit. Blake Bortles was a great fit.
Great fit.
Who's the best fit? Jim Bob Cooter? Gardner Minshew? Blake Bortles?
Talking about of all time?
Well, at least of recent.
I mean, you got to go Minshew, right?
I don't know, man. I kind of lean toward. I thought if Bortles was good, he could have been like just a different kind of legend. I mean, he was just so. Like I feel like Minshew was eccentric Duval.
Yeah, but the dude was like remember
Bortles was Duval.
Remember when he got that Goliath grouper off the boat?
Yeah,
that's Duval.
Nah,
Jean
I
shorts
know,
is Duval.
I know.
All right.
What do you think, Casey?
I like Bortles here. I don't know why. I just feel Bortles.
I kind of do too. Bortles had a chance, man. I mean, would have been.
See, I think Bortles was cool because he would blend into like 50 people you'd see on a Saturday night at Jacksonville Beach, though, like at the bars. He was like a man's man, you know.
Let me give you something that, at least in my opinion, and maybe it's the medium I'm in, is that industry I'm in, is that part of it for me is that Bortles was so good on the mic too.
Okay.
Like from this perspective, like Minshew, I always thought it was always an interesting thing. This is a negative thing, but he was so good with the videos and so good with the persona.
He was good on the mic too.
He was okay on the mic.
Me?
He's okay
the
week to week on the mic. He wasn't unbelievable.
What do you call the guy that has the wrong name all the time? That was great.
He had some memorable ones.
Okay.
But not like like it was like week in, week out, Bortles would have like something, man.
Well, then give me a good Blake Bortles quote here.
I don't remember.
Oh, well, okay.
I don't know. I mean,
I can give you
Minshew had memorable ones.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, I know he did. He did.
Yeah.
But I remember having this discussion on the show. Like when we would do like Wednesday news conferences with Minshew, I'm like almost expecting him to say something, right?
Yeah.
Expecting him to give us, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, that was kind of boring, Minshew today.
Yeah,
you know. But then he would have the zinger, and then even on the national landscape, he would have something, right? That he would do a national interview, or a lot of his stuff came from social media.
Yeah.
And so yeah, again, I in my opinion, maybe we covered him more, so I had like more. Right? It was a little different. He had 5 years of Bortles.
Yeah.
And, like, through the ups and downs, and he was still, like...
Yeah, I just remember the whole Barstool interview with the girl that came to his house.
Yeah, that was
and that
awkward.
whole thing was... Well, that was, like, my first introduction to, like, the behind-the-scenes
fantastic.
on Blake Bortles, and that kind of ruined Blake Bortles. I don't say it ruined Blake Bortles for me, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, anyway, I just think that's it. Jim Bob Cooter name is perfect Jacksonville.
Sure.
Great Northeast Florida name.
Sure.
Like, it really is. No getting around it.
Yes.
But Minshew had so much like Jacksonville fit to him, and I think Bortles really did too. And partly, by the way, Bortles was from Oviedo, so I mean he was basically from here.
Yeah.
In essence.
But see, like I don't know.
Like
I
Mac
just
Jones
feel
is from
like,
here, but I wouldn't say he was like would be a great fit from a Jacksonville.
I just think he was. I think it's Minshew just because like if you were to describe Blake Bortles of like what was his signature.
And to that point, I think the signature is Bortles could have been any of us. Not any of us could have been Minshew. Like, if you're in high school and you see Minshew, that's the guy that you maybe, like, switch sides of the hallway because, like, you didn't know what you were going to get.
Yeah,
but Bortles
I'm saying,
could
like,
be any of us.
Yeah, but see, that's my point, though. Like, if you're trying to campaign a champion to represent you, you want someone that, like, is on a different stratosphere, I feel like. Someone that you can turn and say, like, this guy's on a different level. And that was Minshew.
Let me give you one more reason.
Yep.
And I think this speaks to Casey's point. It was almost like at times Minshew persona, and he got so much national attention that he was like too big for Jacksonville. I'm not saying he thought that way, but I'm saying his thing was too big for like. There was part of it that like Bortles, like nobody else was putting their arms around him outside of Jacksonville, and so he was kind of Jacksonville's. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And from that, so like if you go ask people around town. They've had a lot of experiences probably around town with Blake. Like, name it. Like, I can picture a bunch of different things from things I covered. I don't know. Like, I didn't cover a lot of those events with Minshew. Now, in fairness to Minshew, I think he was also, like, kind of in that COVID world, too, in 20.
Yeah.
So that kind of blurs it. So it just, you know, and by the way, like, Trevor Lawrence is not in that ilk of like, Jacksonville. Like, he doesn't – now, he's done a great job of adapting to Jacksonville. And
well, yeah, I mean, the whole denim – I mean, was that Jacksonville?
Nah, but he actually is very much what you just said. Like, don't you want somebody to carry the flag for you, right?
Yes.
That's big.
Yes.
And Trevor fits that.
No, for sure. That's what Joe Burrow's doing in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Trevor – yeah, that's a good call. Like,
yep. That's what Brett Favre did. Like, listen, Brett Favre – is nowhere close to Green Bay in terms of, like, the people there. But, like, he was the champion of Green Bay because he was just so out of this world.
Yeah.
Like, and you wrapped your arms around him.
Yeah, that's a good call. Anyway, I think Minshew was closer to the Lawrences and Burrows of the world than Blake was.
Correct.
In that sense.
But Blake's
so it doesn't make it wrong, but it's like
it's more
relatable to like you said, Casey. I mean, he's the kid that so many kids around here probably went to high school with.
Sure.
And then he was playing quarterback for the Jags.
He's one of us.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he did feel that. Like, there are not many people in high school like Minshew.
That's what I'm saying. You switch sides of the hallway. You're like, nah, bro, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I can't do it today.
Oh, whatever, man. You would follow his coattails and ride to the end with him.
I love that, by the way. I love that part of these guys, like, because we have had that.
Yeah.
Jim Bob Cooter. I have no idea who Jim Bob Cooter is as a guy. I just know the name certainly fits.
Yeah.
It seems to fit.
I'm just saying, that's going to be your name. You better bring a personality with that name.
You kind of do, right?
You have to.
You better have personality to the offense in your passing game.
Yeah, that's your job.
It's one of the all-time great names, for sure. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Waste Management Open, one of the great places, by the way, to watch some golf. And we pick it. Can I pick a winner 3 weeks in a row? All the pressure's on, baby. All the pressure's on, but this is one time, Jacksonville and everybody all over the world that listens to the show and jumps in, you might want to listen to me and maybe put $1 on it.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
A little pressure on me.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, Luke List, Hoagie, got it done the last couple of weeks. Who's going to win the Waste Management Open? I will tell you. Coming up next on ESPN 690.
Brian Middleton here. Listen, if you're a fan of Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane, then I have a treat for you. Every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, your sports talk fix gets one more hour of greatness with Action Sports Jax Overtime with Casey Kurtz and myself. We're breaking down local and national sports, and with segments like Cash It or Trash It, vague headlines, and I Said What I Said, every moment is action-packed. So remember, every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jax, stick around for Action Sports Jax Overtime from 6 to 7 right here on ESPN 690.
Join the movement to end colon cancer. The annual March to Get Screened 5K is coming up on March 27th. All proceeds benefit the nonprofit Portland Groover Foundation to advance colon cancer research, provide free screenings, and financial assistance. Colon cancer is actually preventable with regular colon screenings. Hundreds of lives have been saved due to the support of our community and the March to Get Screened 5K. Bring the family and join us in downtown Jacksonville on March 27th. To register, donate, or for more information, go to marchtogetscreened.com.
Start your new year in a like-new car from the pre-owned experts at Arlington Toyota. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 300 used available. All makes, all models. Some even same model year. You've got to see it. And when it comes to buying with confidence, just leave it to my friends at Arlington. Their 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Add some major excitement to your new year and an amazing new ride from Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online anytime at ArlingtonToyota.com.
The Florida Forum Speaker Series, brought to you by the Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital, is underway. Don't miss four-time Super Bowl champion and broadcaster Terry Bradshaw on January 20th and Grammy Award winner and songwriter Tim McGraw on February 16th. The series takes place at the Times Union Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today at thefloridaforum.com. The Florida Forum has contributed more than $9.2 million to the Wolfson Children's Hospital of Jacksonville. Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't Safe Touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what Safe Touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And Safe Touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the Safe Touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the Safe Touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the two-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
It's that time of year when folks everywhere scratch their heads and wonder, what can I get my love for Valentine's Day? You know what your darling really wants from you to make them feel special? Finally updating the chipped and faded paint on your house. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that's a superior alternative to paint and vinyl siding. It comes with a 25-year warranty,
so you'll never have to paint again. Call Rhino Shield today.
Time is running out on your chance to enter the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares sweepstakes. The largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever is back with millions of dollars in prizes on the table. And best of all, it's free to enter. Here's the play-by-play. Every time the score changes during Super Bowl 56, somebody's going to win $50,000. That means touchdowns, field goals, extra points, safeties, even a 2-point conversion is a winner. 50 G's. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. Don't miss your chance to win. Get in the game today. See rules and enter for free right now at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 56.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 11/11/22. Equal housing lender licensed all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entity is not offered or sponsor this promotion in any way.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So yeah, I used the savings from switching to Progressive 50 years ago to finally buy my dream car. It's a self-driving flying car, but we just say self-flying now. You know, because it's the future, and cars fly in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Got a party of 10 coming in, and we need to flip those 2 tables.
Leah's restaurant is fully booked night after night.
Section 3 is still behind.
She no longer has reservations about finally finding a hostess.
Why doesn't 23 have menus? Oh, because they're in my hand.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
I'm not optimistic that anything is going to change. To me, this is more of CYA from the NFL, and it's really not on Roger Goodell in the league offense. It's on the 31 owners and the Green Bay Packers. That's who I hold responsible for all of this. I believe Roger Goodell to be a decent man. I think he's done a good job as the commissioner of the NFL, and that's shown by how popular the sport has become under his supervision. But when it comes to this particular issue, I don't know how anyone can make the claim that we've made progress. And you can point to sheer numbers and the fact that we had 2 black head coaches hired during this cycle. We had 9 total coaching vacancies, and the 2 black coaches that were hired, you can make an argument that they got 2 of the worst jobs within the 9 that were available.
That's Chris Canty from ESPN. You can listen to him on ESPN 690. It's time.
Let's get it.
It's time for golf picks. What do we got, Casey? And do you notice what I'm wearing? I don't know if this is what a butcher wears, but I brought my apron with me.
It says Real Men Fried Turkeys.
That's right. That's the only one I had. Somebody had got it for me.
That's what a butcher would wear.
Okay.
So that's my butcher outfit. So,
hey, you aren't the butcher, though.
I know, but I've kind of adapted the butcher name.
Okay.
Until I come up with a better one.
Okay.
Instead of just winner.
Okay.
See, I don't need the cut.
Well, that's where it came from.
I know.
Okay.
But I need a better name.
Well,
Give me a nickname.
No,
I want a nickname if I've won 2 weeks in a row and 3 times overall.
Well, hey, then go and figure it out, man. It ain't my job to come up with your nickname.
What do we got
Ask
this
the
week?
syndicate.
Waste Management Phoenix Open. I'm not talking about the points. Me and Austin will likely lose even if Brent doesn't make a cut the rest of the season. We're down over 3 wins, obviously.
There's a lot of events, by the way.
Yep. So what I
how
said.
How fitting it's the waste management thing when this whole competition's been trashed the entire year.
But now I will say, Austin, it's me and you for second. I've leaped you now at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, only by 4 points. So we have a little battle going. So I say we cut Brent out. We let him be a real man and fry his turkey. And then we continue on to make picks against each other. But nevertheless, Waste Management Phoenix Open, Phoenix, Desert. That's pretty much it.
16th hole, by the way, is awesome. 17th hole in Jacksonville is better because it's here, and we love it.
Yeah.
And we just parted the other day.
Yeah, we did.
But the 16th hole, there's nothing like it. And what's amazing, I've done a story on this, but I've been out there. And I watched Tiger Woods play the 16th hole when we were out there for the Super Bowl. We stopped by for a day, and I did a story comparing 16 to 17. Mm-hmm. And what's amazing is there are a lot of players, as great as it is to watch, the scene is unbelievable. There's a lot of players that don't love it. Okay. Because they think it's
So too distracting?
They think it's dangerous.
Yeah,
They're like, they don't know what's going to happen.
With what?
Because it's like crazy. Sometimes they throw stuff at everything.
Good. Well, hey, welcome to professional sports. Try playing the Oakland Raiders in Oakland, and when the fans want to beat you up, and then get back to me professional golf.
So there's a lot of pressure on me here since I picked the last two winners. Luke List was plus 5,000, I think, or plus 6,000. Tom Hoagie plus 5,000. If I had just put $100 on each, I'd be $11,000 richer by now.
Scared money don't make money.
John Rahm is plus 750 according to the odds I've seen. He is the clear favorite. Like, next closest is Justin Thomas.
It's his home course.
Ooh.
But I don't want to do that. I don't want to go with the favorites. I want to go for another needle in the haystack kind of win. But you can go first, Casey.
Thank you. I'll take Bubba Watson.
Ooh. He still plays?
First event of the year.
I like it.
You don't know what to expect there, do you?
No, I have a pretty good idea.
All right. Well, then I'll go next. Casey, anything to tell me about the course real quick? Fast greens.
Yep.
Need a good driver.
Need one.
Irons.
Always.
Good putting.
Yep, all three.
All of it.
Pretty much need to be complete to win, yeah.
Okay, so it's the Waste Management Phoenix Open. You hear Waste Management, and immediately I went to, all right, which guy looks like he'd be a garbage man? But that was too mean. I'm trying to be nicer.
Make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah, you can. So then I read up on the Waste Management Tour, and actually they have golf clothes that are made from plastic bottles. You guys know that?
Nope.
So, like, in this tournament,
cool.
yeah, so in this tournament, guys will be wearing clothes that are actually from plastic bottles. So that's whatever.
So we can tell somebody their outfit is trash?
Pretty much.
Oh, very good.
Hey, there ain't no Joe Burrows on this golf course. So then it led me to believe, okay, which guy would I pick from this field that looks like he would get on me about, hey, dude, you didn't recycle your plastic bottle. Get it out of the trash and then put it back in the recycling. And as I went through these names here, one guy stood above the rest. I'm going to go with Garrick Higo, which is a guy who would tell me, hey, man, you better take that bottle out of the trash and put it back in the recycling. And I would say, no, it's already in there. You do it yourself. So Garrick Higo is that guy.
My favorite thing is, like, as one guy that stands above, one name that stands above the rest is like, who is that?
Casey? Go ahead and tell us who Garrick Higo is, man.
He's the guy that you also thought was the most likely to be very overjoyed at the hibachi restaurant when the fire comes out of the onion thing.
At the volcano.
Yeah, that's how you picked him last time.
You did. He's plus 15,000, and somehow you have
Let's go.
To have twice picked him.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I forgot I picked him already. It's all right.
But again, his outfit probably will be trash.
All right, guys.
All right,
a lot of pressure on me here. I was thinking about Daniel Berger.
Yeah, sure.
FSU guy, right?
Yes. Get out the chalk.
I'm not going there, though.
He's a jock.
I think the style of the hat will fit the crowd at TPC Scottsdale.
Now you're making a mistake. Now you're trying to do my thing. And my thing ain't going to get you a win.
I just feel like I can see this guy coming down the stretch, and they're loving him.
Okay.
And he's feeding off it. Going Joel Dahman.
Casey, thoughts?
Hey, scared money don't make money.
Okay. So Casey's not that confident.
By the way, plus 9,000.
Woo! What is my guy?
Where can I put $100 on him?
Well, what is my guy? 15,000.
15.
Okay.
What's
I'm going for the hat trick of wins back-to-back weeks with a plus 9,000 guy.
I want to say one thing though. If my guy wins, it'd be more impressive because my guy, in totality, would be more money than you two guys combined.
Bro, your dude's not winning. I promise you.
Oh, save that audio, Casey. Please save that audio. Oh, that's going to be my ringtone.
Somebody put $100 on Joel Dahman, please, because I want the money this time.
I like it.
If I win 3 times in a row and I don't have a penny to show for it, I'm going to be pissed.
Only person in the universe that could ever do that.
You're right.
Only person in the universe.
Galaxy.
The Milky Way Galaxy.
We got Bellarmine and UNF coming up. The Ospreys, 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus. I'll have the call. I'll take the apron off. We'll be back in studio tomorrow. We open up some football cards as well. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. We'll see you on TV as well. CBS 47 and Fox 30.